All right, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Groovinator, aka Adam from RaidersOfLostFlicks.com. How you guys doing tonight? So glad to have you here. I am joined by my wonderful, beautiful, lovely co-hosts, MJ and Pete from the Place to Be Reviews. How you doing, MJ?
Hey.
How about
Do I
you,
get
Pete?
to be lovely and Pete can be beautiful?
You can be lovely and he can be beautiful. How's that sound?
I'm stunning and brave.
Stunning and brave? All right. Glad to have you guys here because, man, I don't know about you guys. I've had a hell of a week, man.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that. But I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be here. We saw some movies this week. We're going to talk about that. I do have some breaking news that I want to cover first, and then we're going to watch some trailers. You'll get some wonderful trailer reactions out of us too. But anyways, let's get into the news first. Let's get that out the way. So I've been so busy, I literally got this announcement on the radio yesterday while I was driving from the doctor's office to the movie theater that it is, in fact, the Joker sequel in the works. As Todd Phillips eyes more DC origin stories. But I don't want to just read this article and bore everybody to death. I just wanted to bring this up as a discussion point.
Oh, there's a Knives Out ad.
Yeah, there's a Knives Out ad. Yeah,
and we're starting already.
Are you pumped about that, MJ?
Honestly, I'm not even sweating it.
You know, Pete's gonna go see Cats. You know that, right?
Yeah.
He's already volunteered. He's gonna go see Cats. He's gonna give us a non-biased look on your face, dude.
Motherfucker. I just sat through Charlie's Angels. I sit through Batwoman once a week. I sit through Cats too. I can't stand seeing real big human titties on cats. I can't do it.
Oh, so yeah. We'll get to. I'm really looking forward to your review of Cats. But yeah, we were talking about this Joker, this Joker sequel. I kept saying, Hollywood, please stop making sequels. Don't make a sequel to a movie. Make another movie that's as good as the movie that we just saw. The Joker made all of the money in the world on a $55 million budget. And you know why it worked? Because it had an original story. It wasn't attached to another movie. It wasn't a reboot of another movie. It was its own thing. It was advertised as a standalone movie. Now it's not going to be a standalone movie anymore.
Is it officially confirmed?
Yeah, I'm gonna read a little bit about this. Okay. This is from Hollywood Reporter. Joker sequel in the works as Todd Phillips eyes more DC origin stories exclusives. On October 7th, Joker director Todd Phillips headed into Warner Brothers Picture Group chairman Toby Emmerich's office, buoyed by film's $96.2 million opening weekend haul. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter he proposed an outsized idea, the rights to develop a portfolio of DC characters' origin stories. Now that I am okay with. Emmerich balked. After all, Warner Brothers is very protective of the DC canon, and all the DC deals have been for one film and one film only. But Phillips did emerge from the meeting with the rights to at least one other DC story, sources say. And now the Joker has crossed the 1 billion mark. A sequel is on the way. As movie keeps raking in monies overseas, Phillips is in talks to reprise his role as director for his second Joker outing. He and Scott Silver, who penned the gritty Joker screenplay, will write the follow-up, THR has learned. Warner's has a sequel options in place for Joker star Joaquin Phoenix, who has emerged as a strong contender in the Oscar Best Actor race. The studio and Phillips reps at CAA declined to comment. Oh, there's your red flag right there. Joker marks the fourth DC title to cross 1 billion, following in the footsteps of 2018's Aquaman, 1.15 billion, 2012's The Dark Knight Rises, 1.08 billion, and 2008's The Dark Knight, 1 billion. But its 60 million budget is far less than those previous films, so it's almost assured of generating profits of more than 500 million. Warner's has a 50% stake, while Village Roadshow and Braun Studios each have 25%. The Unexpected Bounty also generating a huge payday for Phillips. 48 sources say the director will earn close to 100 million when the dust has settled. He deferred his upfront salary in exchange for a bigger slice of the adjusted gross. In fact, the deal is similar to the one he struck with Warner's before the first Hangover movie, which went on to earn a surprise of $467.5 million worldwide in 2008 off a $35 million budget. The trilogy took in $1.42 billion. With Joker, Phillips already toyed with the idea of Bruce Wayne's origins. A letter written by the mother of Arthur Fleck, aka Joker, implies that the two are half brothers, but Penny Fleck might not have been telling the truth, given the Fleck family propensity to imagine things haven't taken place. Still, he won't be exploring Batman's backstory. The case is already in the hands of writer-director Matt Reeves, whose The Batman, starring Robert Pattinson, is coming to theaters June 25th, 2021. Ditto Wonder Woman, whose adolescence on Hidden Island of Themyscira was laid out by screenwriter Alan Hydberg in Patty Jenkins' 2017 film that grossed $821 million. The sequel starring Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman 1984, is due out in June 5th, 2020. As for a DC villain origin story that could be a mine next, Phillips would be well suited for either Darkseid, a tyrannical ruler who is worshipped by some as the god of evil, or Metropolis power-mad one-percenter Lex Luthor. What do you guys think about this?
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, they just profited a whole shit ton of money. I mean, why?
I like the origin story idea, not sequel wise, but if they do like I would love Darkseid or Lex Luthor standalone.
I'm fine with that too. I don't have a problem with another origin stories. I just don't want to see. How many times did we discuss this on our streams? We don't need to do a sequel to this movie. No. Just let it be its own thing. This is why Hollywood keeps making mistakes. They keep wanting to print money. You know, what
go
I mean?
to the well,
right?
Copy, repeat, copy, repeat, copy, repeat every single time.
It is. It's them going to the well one too many times, man.
I told you this would happen. The money was going to be too good, and the suits were going to step in and say, you have to do this again. And the problem with most of these sequels is that's exactly how they do it. They do the same movie. They hit all the same beats.
Yep.
I knew this was going to happen. I'm like, please don't just make a sequel. I mean, the only thing I'm hearing some people say, like they're already making excuses for it. They're like, well, at least they let the movie become a success before they announced it as a trilogy or, you know, a whole saga of films with 18 spinoffs like they tried to do with Ghostbusters 2016. You know, it's like, we're going to build a whole cinematic universe out of Ghostbusters 2016. Yeah, how's that working for you?
Hey, Paul Feig. Hey, Paul Feig. Paul Fig. How's that? Yeah, how's that going?
Fig. Yeah. How's Last Christmas going for you? That's what I want to know.
Last Christmas,
I lost a bunch of money last Christmas. But yeah, I don't want a sequel, man. I want them to take the time and figure out what makes these movies work, why it did so well. It had a good story, a good script, and a good performance. Figure that out and replicate that. It's like, I understand you have to figure out what made something work so that you can make something successful again, but I don't just want Joker 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
No, and it doesn't need to be that way. You know, that's the problem. Like we talk about this, you know, you don't need to do it. You should know better. But then the studio steps in and is like, well, you know, and then they throw a stupid amount of money at Todd Phillips. And how can you pass that up when you know the window of your career as a director could be very small depending on your success? I mean, he's lucky to have The Hangover. You know, I don't know how many of those he did.
And my thing is too is Todd Phillips is okay. Like a good example is like The Dark Knight. You know, I mean, Batman Begins is good, but The Dark Knight is like this whole other level.
Yes.
And then The Dark Knight Rises was like, well, that was fun, but it's never going to be The Dark Knight. That's my fear for this one. It's like only once in a lifetime do you ever have a sequel that's just like vastly surpasses the first one.
Empire Strikes Back.
You have expectations. That's the problem when you keep wanting to do sequels. You have, you have a fan base that's rabid to see more of the same thing, but they want to see you move the story forward. And more times than many, I see studios just hitting the same beats that they did before.
It's basically treading water is what they're doing with it.
Like you said, going to the well one too many times. But I mean, will I go see a Joker sequel? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do I want one? No. I don't. I see now. I go in and I have expectations. I'm going to be easily disappointed. It's hard for me not to think that way because they're already doing exactly what I predicted they would.
It just makes me wonder what they're going to do with it. Go ahead, Monica. I'm sorry.
I know that I literally had one word. Dumb. Dumb.
No. Well, like I said, I want to know. I mean, they're not going to, obviously, you're not going to get details or anything. When's this? Did they give a date for?
No.
Okay.
Just that they're working on it.
It's in development.
Okay, take your time with it at least is all I could hope. Take your time, make sure you have a good story, because right now it doesn't look like there was ever a story in place. So you have to go back and say, okay, I need to actually make a story, because are there places they could probably go with this character? Maybe, but is that what we want? Do we want more of the same, or do we want something that's fresh and new like this? It's like I don't know. You guys remember? Pete, you remember growing up, like it was very seldom that you got a sequel.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Movies were just one-offs.
Movies was a one-off. If something made a ton of money, maybe you'd get a second part, but it was very seldom, and it wasn't always right away either. It's like now, it's like you're seeing the sequel to the movie you just saw like a year and a half ago. And it's usually the same movie,
except for your horror franchises. Those those. But as far as like movies like this, or like regular like action style movies, no, you didn't get sequels all the time. That wasn't a thing. You didn't have Commando 5. You had Commando 1.
Like that's a good example too. Like Saw. That was a very fresh original story. I think the original Saw movie was fantastic, but that doesn't mean I want like 8 of them.
No, I just made Saw was like a tradition for me at Halloween. I would go to the theater because they would open around Halloween, opening night every year. I would be there, and I drugged the wife to do mine because they're going, no, I drugged the wife.
No. MJ's like, nope, not my bag.
The last 2 that they released, her and I went to go see. I was like, we're going to see these. This is my thing. So, but yeah, I didn't need a sequel to Joker. I'll go see it. But I'm interested in the story now. You had my interest now you have my attention. It's like you're going through with this. Okay. So how
I just don't know if he has the ability to build on, because that's one thing that I liked about The Dark Knight so much is it's a film that's technically part of a trilogy but can work independently on its own.
Oh yeah.
Like you don't need to see Batman Begins, and you really don't need to see Dark Knight Rises. You can watch The Dark Knight all by itself. Can Joker be that good? A Joker sequel be that good? Can it be
without Batman?
I mean, is I don't know. It feels like they told people we're not doing a cinematic universe, but they're gonna fucking do it anyway. At least that's how I feel. It's like we're gonna do this anyway.
They're gonna tie this into the Batman. I'll guarantee it. I mean, mark my words right now. November 22nd, 2019, 8:44 Eastern. They're gonna tie this into the Batman's universe with the
Robert Pattinson.
Reeves, Matt Reeves directed the Robert Pattinson gimmick that's coming out.
I hope it's good, because man, they're sure hyping it. But I mean, they did hype the Joker, and they did deliver. So they are capable of making great things, but. I don't know. People are probably not going to like my response to this. Yes, we're getting a Joker sequel. I'm like, no, don't just keep making sequels. Make more stuff that's as good as that, please. Because Joker is unique in that we live in a world that a movie like that can exist. Not only exist, but be as successful as it was.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just keep doing the same thing.
My trepidation moving forward with this is, especially with the DC EU, is J.J. Abrams and Secret Hideout and Bad Robot coming over there, because DC is on an upswing right now.
That's true.
DC's on it. They're on an upswing.
They're experiencing some success. They're going to give Marvel a run for their money. Yeah,
they can
do it.
Goddamn Jar Jar comes over there and brings his cronies with him, and next thing you know, we're mystery boxes everywhere, and we already had the mystery box in Justice League. Oh, that was a mother box. Never mind. We don't need another situation like that. And I love Justice League. Don't get me wrong.
Rise of the mother box.
Yep, but I don't need Jar Jar coming over and screwing this up, because you got an Aquaman sequel that's they're gonna do a sequel to Aquaman. They're gonna do a Shazam sequel. You've got Black Adam with The Rock now. So I mean, I'm looking forward to that. Now that is something that is like a perfect. Like, you could not cast somebody better to play Black Adam than The Rock.
I still haven't seen Venom. I haven't seen Venom, and I haven't seen Aquaman yet. I know I need to see those movies. I know I'm wearing a hat that says Venom, but it's just because I think it's a cool hat. It's not really because I've seen
that movie is awesome. And there's an article I got to do about that. It's about the sequel. I'm stoked for that sequel to Venom, man, because
I'm leery about it.
I'm not. I'm going.
I'm a Tom Hardy fan, though. I would see it just because he's in it.
He disappointed me in The Revenant. That whole movie disappointed me. Oh God, was that terrible?
I never saw The Revenant. I don't think I want to watch that one.
Don't.
I think I'm going to literally sit that one
out. Objectively, like, it was boring. It was a boring ass movie.
It's an Academy film, you know. It's one of the stuff. It's the kind that they look for. It's like, well, we don't want the fun films. We want the films that make you depressed. You know?
And that was
we want to feel. We want to emote.
The beginning scene, like a logging. They're like loggers. Like the Native Americans come in and attack their camp, you know, and like kill a bunch of these guys and basically burn everything. And then it kind of splits off into
I'm giant.
Yep. It goes off into this whole thing, and Tom Hardy's the bad guy in it. I don't want it. It's a boring movie. Like, you get all the action you're gonna get happens in like the first 30 minutes, and until the very end, which is still a fucking dramatic letdown because of how long this movie is. Everybody's like, oh my God, the bear attack scene with Leo was great. I'm like,
there's nothing I can't stand when a movie is long just for the sake of being long.
It
doesn't have anything else to bring to the table other than this is a long movie because I can.
It was like another Titanic, like kind of like you.
Am I the only female that hates that movie?
No. I know quite a few females that don't like that.
I get shit on a lot for not liking that. The Titanic is one of my favorite stories ever. That movie does not do it justice.
You know what was cool about Titanic, though? Remember back when they used to sell that on VHS, and you could buy it's like a 2-tape pack, because they usually didn't have tapes that were on 2 tapes. You know, it's like this movie so long as 2 tapes. Wow, 2 tapes for $17. What a great deal, right? You could just put the second tape in and go right to the ship sinking.
Yep.
The first tape never got played. I would just watch the ship sink. I'm like, yeah, James Cameron made a badass disaster movie. All right.
I didn't own the movies.
I did.
My mom has that.
Just because I wanted to watch the
VHS. My mom has all of them.
My mom has all the VHSs.
She does.
She does.
I got rid of my tapes. That's one thing. I don't ever want to go back to tape.
Her house.
Tape is a bad thing. I gave up on tape when my VCR ate my 20th anniversary edition of Jaws.
Ooh.
I was crushed. And I'm like, that's it. I'll never fucking buy tapes ever again. I went out and bought a DVD player that day. So the first DVD I bought was Jaws. I'm like, no, you can't take it away from me. So anyways, so let's get into this next topic here. Because this one, oh boy. This is
I seen it again last night.
This is a thing. Yeah, this is a thing. All right.
Terrifying.
Good news for Disney. Movie studios might soon be able to buy their own theaters. According to Variety, the Department of Justice is planning to reverse the Paramount consent decrees, a set of landmark agreements that have barred studios from owning theaters for the last 70 years. This will also unban previously forbidden practices called block booking and circuit dealing, which involves studios forcing theaters to buy multiple films as a package deal, like, say, Disney, that a theater can only get Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker if all of its other screens are showing Frozen 2, forcing out competition. This has all been outlawed since the 40s, separating the actual movie production companies from the place where movies are shown, the theaters, in an effort to stop major studios from monopolizing the entire distribution chain. As the DOJ explains, though, that the rule has become outdated by modern distribution technology, since home video releases and streaming allow studios to bring content directly to consumers. Macon Delarem, head of the DOJ's antitrust division, says that Paramount decrees are stifling consumer-enhancing innovation, with Friday saying he specifically cited MoviePass as something that was somehow hindered by this, presumably in addition to many faults, like in generally awful service. As the DOJ explains, though, stuff like block booking won't suddenly be legal. It just won't be explicitly legal. Supposedly, if a studio like, say, Disney does try to pull some shenanigans, it will still be addressed by antitrust enforcers because it would still probably be a violation of existing antitrust laws. The government just doesn't want to risk impacting consumer-enhanced innovation by explicitly telling the studios what they can and cannot do. The reason we keep referring to Disney here is because it's a company that would really benefit from more lenient rules about what it can do with the movies. After all, it has the money and the library of film projects to really benefit from owning an entire theater. And it could easily eclipse a smaller studio that dares to try and open a movie against a new Avengers or Toy Story. This is, more or less, is one of the things Martin Scorsese is concerned about when it comes to the overwhelming popularity of Marvel movies is now, or at least once the DOJ gets a judge to approve reversing the decrees, it'll be slightly easier for Disney to actually fill a theater with nothing but its own superhero movies. We just bought a movie pass. Damn it. I don't want to be restricted to a certain... I don't have to go to a certain theater to watch a certain movie to be able to cover it. I still got this banner up. I got to take down. Past that. Yeah.
I didn't want to call you out on it.
I know. I wasn't going to say anything.
Next time you probably should. I'm
like, stop reading. Fix your banner.
I'm a little dense today, folks. I apologize. I got up really early today. So, yeah, I'm just not going to do a banner for this one. Yeah, this could, because the problem is Hollywood always takes the worst idea and does the worst possible thing you could with it. They never do the right thing with the worst idea.
What's the worst that could happen from letting Disney own movie theaters, right? What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, they already own like 80% of the entertainment landscape. Now they want to buy the movie theaters too. You actually do this, if they pass this law, theaters are dead. I mean, theaters are dying anyway. I actually purchased that movie pass for a couple of reasons. For one, it gets me out of the house more. Two, it helps me make better content for YouTube. Three, I want to be able to... I think movies are getting better, and I want to support movies being made. I want to support movie theaters. I don't want that industry to die. I know I've said that maybe it should die a couple times, but I don't really mean it. I only say
I take it back.
I say it out of frustration. You know what I mean? It's like I want these things to improve. I want these things to thrive and exist. But if they do this, it'll totally put the industry out.
But what are they going to do when they buy a theater and then play Captain Marvel and nobody shows up for it? They can't buy out their own tickets.
They'll just buy their own seats.
They can't. With what money?
They will.
Can you imagine? I mean, right now it's like the closest movie theater to me is 10 miles away, which doesn't sound like very far away, but depending on
stoplights,
depending on stoplights and traffic, can take me from 35 to 56 minutes to get to that theater. So if I have to go out of my way just to go see Captain whatever the fuck came out this weekend, that causes a problem. That's going to be less movies that I can go see, because now my pass is useless, because not only do they want you to buy these streaming channels, now they want you to go to our theater so that you can see our movies. I just see this going bad on so many levels, man. I'm just like a little freaked out by it.
Yeah, Disney can't monopolize the entire... Like, they basically own the entire world now. I mean, they own our news, they own our sporting channels, you know, they own all the freaking entertainment. So this is wrong.
I can't rely on the antitrust laws to protect us anymore, because if that was the case, then these Fox mergers and
this shit wouldn't have happened.
No, Disney wouldn't own as much as they already do.
No.
In a realistic world, they shouldn't.
No, not even close. Not even close. That's you know, I mean, letting Disney own everything in entertainment is like letting Anita Sarkeesian run the video game industry. I mean, it's where'd you think I was going with that?
I don't know. I don't know.
I was tearing her up on Twitter today, so she's right there in my frontal cortex.
Oh, great. Cool.
But
okay.
But yeah, no, this is wrong. You can't let a company own theaters like this. I mean, like you said, it's just like a small... If there was more than one theater in this town, and they'd say Disney had their own theater here, this beautiful theater that's been in this town for 100 years, which is shut down. It's you can't do that. It's not right. Like I said, none of this shit is fair, and this antitrust, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work against Disney. It's like, is Disney going to bring around the end times? Is that what's going to happen? The four horsemen of the apocalypse are Mickey, Donald, Goofy,
I want it all, motherfuckers!
Oh, here comes the apocalypse, bitch!
Own your ass!
Kiss the rings.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Oh, hey, we got somebody in chat. Welcome, Brian K. Brian K says, stop the Disney Illuminati. Absolutely. We don't want this. Don't support this. Don't like it.
Brian's been having one of our weeks this week, too.
Oh, is he? All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're with the right people.
Welcome aboard, buddy.
We're here to unwind, relax amongst friends while we discuss movies. You know what?
He's also mad at me because I didn't tell him how the movie was last night.
Oh, well, yeah, you got to say that for the stream. I was getting some of that too. Like, so what'd you think? I'm like, well, you're going to have to wait till tomorrow. Because somebody was doing that in the theater. I'm like, I'll tell you what, if you check out Rage of the Lost Flicks tomorrow at 8:30 p.m., I'll tell you all about it. Yeah, because you don't want to unload those comments. You want to save all that inside and then wait to unload it on the show. So, yeah, we saw a lot of movies. Anyways, that's enough about the Disney antitrust thing. It's depressing me. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Yeah. I just wanted to get you guys' feedback in there. I just wanted to warn you that things can always get worse. So, but yeah, we're gonna go into our next little bit here. We're gonna watch us some movie trailers. All right, so we're going to watch this one here. And Pete has not seen this trailer yet. MJ and I have, because we've seen a lot of movies this week. So
twice I've seen it.
I've seen it about 3 times now. So anyways, this is 20th Century Fox. This is Underwater. Let me make sure I got this. Hold on here. Make sure I got the audio going. One of these days I'll get my act together. Wait.
No rush, buddy.
Nope.
Take your time.
Didn't get there either. If they could just make it to where I could default to the there we go. Share audio. Okay.
I'm looking at your back.
Oh my god.
All right.
Stop it.
So yeah, that is Underwater. I have questions.
So
you go first.
I saw it and I immediately texted Pete and I was like, you thought Kristen Stewart looked bad, and oh no, I'm giant. I was like, you thought she looked bad in Charlie's Angels. Just wait, buddy.
I've seen this movie before. It's Alien, Deep Star 6, Leviathan.
I was gonna say Leviathan. Yep.
She won't take a shovel to the face. Yes.
The Abyss. Yeah. Also, the font crawl looks exactly like Alien.
See, I've never seen any of those, so I didn't pick up on that. It shows the
A, and then it shows the L. It kind of slowly comes in. You have that that little like alarm thing going off in the background. In space, nobody can hear you scream.
Yep.
I remember that. It just. I don't know. I
have no idea how that.
I'll see it. I'm not. It doesn't look like it has. God, I don't want to say this. It's going to be such a pun if I say this.
Just say it.
This movie doesn't look like it has any depth. There, I said it. Yeah, it's more of a fail. All right, I said it. I got it on my system. Yeah, it's yeah. Like Brian said, climatic spelling, count me in. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so you
buy a vowel.
You didn't like her haircut in Charlie's Angels. Well, Kristen
Stewart
said, "Hold my beer."
I tried to warn him.
She's like a biscuit away from me. I mean, shit. Like, come on, girl. Like, I gave you some credit in Charlie's Angels. At least when you had a wig on in the beginning scene, you looked like something like I'd pick up at last call. But I
hope it works out for her, honestly.
Yeah.
I hate to see a movie like Charlie's Angels destroy anybody's career, but it sure as hell isn't it's not going to be a bright spot on anybody's jacket.
What movie has she been good in?
I hope it wrecks
I don't
Elizabeth
know.
Banks' career. Honestly, she's such
she needs to be knocked
she's
down a
so
couple
pretentious.
notches.
Yeah,
But we're not going to get into that.
no.
We've already
He keeps
covered that
trying.
one.
He's sneaking them in.
Well, it's like we made him
Get
see a
outta
bad movie and he's going to punish us like
Oh.
perpetually for. But just wait till he sees Cats.
I was just
We'll
gonna say that. Wait until
yeah.
Cats, Mom. You're
Yeah,
gonna hate me after that.
wait till Cats comes out.
I'm gonna be like, I'm just gonna run it. I'm just gonna come in every stream going milk, like Jason Derulo.
No.
All right,
so disturbing.
If you thought that one, check this one out. I want to get you guys' reactions out of this one too.
I'm gonna dub Eminem over that trailer and sync it to Kristen Stewart talking.
The Yukon is a dangerous place. You never know what's coming.
I first thought that was Nick Nolte talking.
I came up here because I didn't want to be around anyone.
Nope.
And I met
It's-
Buck.
It's Han Solo.
He was a dog like no other. He'd been spoiled
Looks like Marmaduke.
Come on, Buck.
and he'd suffered.
Come on.
But he could not be broken.
I don't know where you came from.
That
but I
is
know where
a
you
very
are now.
bad CG dog.
Welcome to the last place on the earth.
I'm sorry, it
So
is.
I
It's a
have
terrible CG
I don't
dog.
understand why we have
Motherfuckers
to have a
ever seen
CG
CG
dog.
before.
They're,
How do you feel about
they
it
make real dogs. They're alive,
beyond all
like
that?
us.
You can even train them. Did you know that?
You and
Yeah.
That was a Jurassic Park
where no
line.
one's
I was
ever
like,
been before.
Why'd the dog look like a
See what's
raptor?
out there.
This dog's like got superpowers, like up and away, underdog.
Enjoying this?
Yeah, they didn't even use a CGI dog
Nope.
in those.
This is
Airbuds-
what they
Airbuds are
cut
real
the
dogs.
trailer with this footage.
What do you say, Buck? Adventure of a lifetime.
I heard they were remaking this. Okay.
He was sleeping for 2 days. In my bed.
Dog looking at him like, what you talking about, Willis? Dude, why?
He's got because he's got the Millennium Falcon hidden out back.
Why would you do a CG dog? That's what
That
I
doesn't
don't
make
I
any
don't
fucking
know.
sense. Probably because Harrison Ford's grumpy. I ain't working with a real fucking dog.
Why? I
I'm
love
just
the
kidding. I have no
doggies.
idea. What?
I love the doggies.
You want one? No, I don't understand why they would use.
I know
the
what you're
CGI.
setting me up for.
I don't know why they
That's where
would.
you go. That's bait, Pete.
That's bait. That's
bait.
bait. That right there. That's bait.
Yeah, I
Um,
saw that trailer last night, and I'm like, "Are you
Yes.
serious right now?" I'm like, "It's Harrison Ford and a very early 2000s CG dog."
I wonder who is that dog looks like it's straight out of the Arrowverse. Like that looks like as good as King Shark from The Flash. Like, why?
Dude, that dog looks like it belongs in the Underworld series. While you're bullshitting,
What,
I mean, it's very dated, bad. That's just like if you're going to do a CG animal, and that's one of the co-stars of your movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, I can tell it's like a movie made for kids, but it looks like it's going to be boring even for kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
read-
no way any of my kids are not my kids. Kids I know, whatever. They're not sent through that
Got,
shit.
got something you want to tell us, MJ?
I was
I
gonna
know.
say. I thought you did. Okay, what?
We find out a little bit. At a
Where
time.
you hiding them at?
Do, 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 do.
They're around.
Anyways, yeah, chat. What do you think about Call of the Wild? Let me know. I'm not terribly optimistic about it, but we'll see how it goes. I'll at this point I'll entertain just about anything if I have nothing else to watch. But I'm not like super excited about it.
Yeah.
Call of the Wild and another one they announced was doing Little Women again, and I'm like, didn't we just do that like not even a few minutes ago?
They did that in like the early 2000s.
They're doing it again. Yeah, they're going to do it again.
The
Literally no one.
Can we please
We
make
don't
a
want
parody?
Little Women.
Can we
Well,
please
here's
make a
Little Women.
parody?
Yeah.
Can we please make a parody called Little Womans?
Oh.
It's gonna look, dude. Is it going to be set in like the time? Because my sisters used to watch that show. I think it was like a BBC show. at
Here's
one
the thing,
point.
man.
I never watched
I was just talking to my brother-in-law about this earlier. This nostalgia bug has worn off. Okay,
Yeah.
like they had a
Yep.
big taste of success when they did Jurassic World
Mhm.
and they did Star Wars: The Force Awakens. They had a whole bunch of success with that, but I think that's wearing off because very few of these nostalgia reboots or soft reboots or sequels or whatever gain any traction now. Like it's almost like an instant turn off. And I know a lot of these things were probably put into production and greenlit right after Force Awakens came out. They probably thought, oh my God, they love this nostalgia shit. We gotta make more of it. And it's just like Hollywood's always like the slowest to catch up because it takes a long time for these movies to be made. But I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a wonderful movie. Maybe Harrison Ford's lost his damn mind. I don't know.
That trailer wasn't doing it for me. So.
No. Oh wow. Okay, so they did Little Woman in 1994 was the cinematic release of that. I was just kind of curious. No, this Call of the Wild though. This does not. The only Call of the Wild I know is there was a Call of the Wild park up by where we live up here, Monica. Remember that?
Fatal J's in the chat. What's up, Fatal J?
What up, Fatal J? Was that in Grayling?
Howdy.
We're about to do
Or
some
Gaylord?
movie reviews.
I don't know.
You know what I'm talking about though. It used to be
I
outside
do.
the expressway called Call of the Wild. I think it was up by Grayling.
I feel like it was further north than that.
It's probably Gaylord then. I don't know. I don't go any farther north than that.
Oh, see, yeah, doesn't
No, hell
doesn't
no.
matter. We'll
I
say
don't
that
do
for off air.
I don't do that UP shit. Anyway, what a Fatal J. So yeah, but yeah, that trailer did not. Jesus, I got a big ass.
I know.
Face.
Hold on, let me
You
center
can see
my.
my fucking
You
pores.
hate it when I do that, don't you?
Goddamn, good thing I trimmed my nose hair today. Shit. That's my mustache. That's my mustache. It's not nose hair. No, but
You got some plants growing out of there.
Thank you for clarifying.
nope, it's clean.
Jesus.
That was
got a little reefer growing out of his little Mary Jane growing out of his schnoz there.
He's so weird.
roll that up. Anyway, it didn't look good. Like I like hair. I love Harrison Ford to death. I mean, he's done some amazing movies, but I mean, this just does not look like one of them. This looks like Harrison Ford in real life, just a grumpy old man that wants to get away from everybody.
I feel bad for him because it seems like he's going to spend the rest of his days acting alongside green screens and CG. Like
I wonder who's doing the mocap for the dog.
Andy Serkis, of course. Yeah,
Either
he's a
Sean
go-to
Gunn.
guy for everything. Yeah, it's going to be Sean Gunn and Andy Serkis.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Yeah,
That would be
like I said, it
funny,
might wind up being great. Who knows? MJ, you saw a movie this week I didn't see. Something about firefighters.
Oh God!
You want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Playing with fire. No, come back. I don't want to.
All right. I won't zoom in.
I don't
on
like
you.
it. I'm all alone.
Playing with Fire, starring John Cena. John Cena.
Sorry.
I'm pretty sure I have just found our first future watch party horrible movie. It was so bad. It was only an hour and a half long, and I could not wait to get the fuck out of there. But it wasn't bad because it was like SJW politics bullshit. It was just a really bad movie, which kind of makes it funny, but so stupid. The best part about that movie was the Hildebrand girl, the girl that plays in Deadpool, the Negasonic teenage whatever blah blah, the bald girl,
Negasonic Teenage Warhead.
There you go. Yeah, she plays the oldest child. That was the best part of that whole movie. It was so bad. I can't even. It was so stupid. Oh God. Yeah.
Was there anybody in the theater when you went to go see it?
No, and I was like loudly being like, "Are you shitting me right now?" Like, and I was calling out what was gonna happen. Like, oh, didn't see that one coming.
Were you giving us the famous?
She was.
No, I was like this.
She was doing mine. She was.
You were face palming the whole time.
I was like, "Are seriously?" And like, you could tell that it was trying to be campy.
Mm-hmm.
Damn train. I don't know if you can hear it. Sorry, but
no, I didn't hear nothing.
Nope.
Okay, cool. But it was still bad. I can't. The only thing I can tell you is that we're gonna have to do a watch party.
It's a John Cena movie, and it's not going to be good.
And like, okay, well, apparently Nickelodeon like sponsor this at some point, produce
Oh, did
it.
they
I'm
produce
not
it?
really sure. But the giant Nickelodeon thing comes up first.
Oh no! Oh, oh no!
I would have got
It
it.
was
Walk the
probably
fuck
made
out.
on Nickelodeon channel.
Like,
Nickelodeon
I'm
channel's
peacing
like,
out on
yeah,
this one.
put this
Well-
one out in the theater. It's got John Cena in it. Yeah, we'll roll this out underneath everybody's noses.
This could have been like a Saturday afternoon special movie or some
Nobody
shit.
will be none the
yeah,
wiser.
and that's the thing is I probably would have laughed except for the events that happened prior to going to see this movie. I'm like, I finally fucking got here. I'm sitting here watching this stupid ass movie. So, like, I'm not kidding. I had like my coat bundled up, ready to go right before they're like, didn't even play the credits yet. I was like, can it just be over? Yeah, I was counting to the minute because I was like, okay, it's 1 hour and 36 minutes, and it started at 6:32. So I was like, I'm the entire hour and 36 minutes. That was my face. It was so stupid, so bad.
I'm sure. Like I said,
and you know what? What's funny?
It's not bad.
What's funny is I could picture Pete crying halfway through the movie.
I was crying in the theater during Charlie's Angels. That's why I started texting
did you
guys.
at least enjoy it when he like ripped his shirt off? Like I heard he gets shirtless in the movie. Like quite this movie made for kids, mind you. He gets shirtless in it quite often.
Yeah, he is, but it was still.
He looks like
wasn't enough to save it. Kind of like I felt with Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. Like, God, I love Drew Barrymore, but she's not enough to save this piece of shit.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of him anyway.
Oh, John Cena? Yeah.
I mean, whatever. But God Almighty.
Are you into the wrestling like Daddy Dollar Below Me here is, or no?
No.
I'm not a wrestling fan anymore either. Honestly,
this is probably a good
it.
chance to roll out our new scoring system. MJ, we rate everything on a cheese curd scale here, but I kind of changed it up a little bit. Out of 5 cheese curds, MJ, what would you give Playing with Fire?
-2.
You can't do -2. I don't have any -2. So is 1 being generous on this one?
Yes, okay. It is.
Right.
This is honestly, it will be funny when you're trying to riff on it. It is not funny in real life. You're just like, this is stupid. Oh. So
and all of a sudden we got 20,000 more subscribers.
No.
That's how we roll.
No. Yeah, so that's the only way I would suggest watching this movie.
Would you say this is the worst thing you've seen this year?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, this is definitely watch party material. Makes me want to go see it now.
This all right. On YouTube.
So MJ, 1 out of 5 cheese curds, failed flick for
Playing with Fire.
Playing with Fire. I keep wanting to say Halt and Catch Fire, but that's a better movie.
Yeah.
No. Okay. All right. Gotcha.
Come back now.
Come back, Ralphie, come back, please. Come back, Ralphie, come back.
You'll shoot your eye.
All right, so we also went and saw Ford v Ferrari this week. Why don't you you want to lead off with that one first, or you want me to start?
I feel like I talked a lot. You can go.
Not necessarily. I've been hosting the damn stream. I'm
okay.
kind of dry throat here.
Okay.
Cheers.
Well, I mean,
Mazel tov.
L'chaim.
I was gonna say it's gonna keep going back and forth.
Salud.
He's shut the fuck up.
Das Vidanya, comrade.
I'm just kidding, buddy. Yeah, he's in a hangar. I mean, he's working on freaking cars in a hangar at an airport. Like, again, hook, line, and sinker. Sold. I loved it. I feel like the story was a little slow. It built up a little slow.
You think like the first act was a little on the slow side?
Yeah, and into the second act, I was like, but I get what they were doing. It wasn't bad. It was just I was ready to get to the cars. Christian Bale, I'm not even a big fan of his at all. Really liked him in this as that character. I feel like that was probably him in real life anyways. But yeah, I liked him. And I feel like Matt Damon was pretty good. He looks good. I like him a little plumpy.
Yeah.
He looked a lot better.
You think he gained weight to play this part?
I don't know if he did it on purpose, but I think he looks a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's not necessarily about the race itself, though the race is a main feature. It's more about this corporation and their dick measuring contest to try to out, Ford doesn't want to be known as somebody that just makes cars that people get to drive to work. They want to get a leg in the what's the name of the race again? Le Mans, the 24-hour Le Mans. Le Mans. Did I say that right? Yeah.
Yes.
The Le Mans race. They want a car that can obviously give Ferrari a run for its money. Now Ferrari wins the Le Mans all the time, but they don't sell enough cars because they take so long making the cars.
Well, and they said in the movie too that they produce the average car that Ford was producing per week is Ferrari produces less than that in a year.
Yeah, because they each one is like detailed to perfection, and then you have to have like at least 2 or 3 lifetimes worth of incomes to make a payment on one of those things.
Pete and I have both. I'm assuming Pete has gone. Our school used to go field trips to the Henry Ford Museum. So
never been there.
What the fuck
I skipped that day literally.
Why?
You not only skip leg day, you
that?
skip the museum day.
Why?
God, it's so awesome.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually like this movie.
It's pretty cool.
It was good. It's not so much about the race itself or even the execs that are doing this. It's more or less that Matt Damon is a racer turned car designer. He had an injury and he couldn't do cars anymore. Carroll Shelby, and he did that drawl pretty good, So as some people,
I was dying. I'm like, he's standing in a hangar right now. These freaking airplanes driving by, working on an engine. I'm like, God, I want to go there.
Nice. So yeah, it's more or less that in Christian Bale, both of these guys are people that are looking for a second chance, and this is given to them just by being caught up. Carroll Shelby's the guy to design the car, and Christian Bale's the guy to drive the car. Both of these guys, what I thought was interesting about it is it's not just so much about the driving; it's their knowledge of how the car hugs the pavement. The science of it and all that kind of stuff. Oh, go ahead.
So that's the stuff that bothers me because when was this supposed to take place?
1966.
66. Okay, yeah. So I know, and maybe it's just my brain because it's dumb and it picks up on stupid details and ruins shit for me. But there is I think it's in the road that's by what's his freaking Christian Bale's character? What the hell is his name in that movie? I can't remember.
I'll pull it up for you.
I can't remember already.
I'm terrible with names too. Yeah, it's funny how so much can happen in just a couple of days.
Ken Miles.
Ken Miles. There you go.
Okay, so I think it's in the part by his house. Anyways, there is lines painted on the road. They didn't do that until well into the 70s.
See, MJ's the technical advisor.
It pisses me off though, but I'm like, they got so much shit right in that movie and they put so much detail and emphasis on shit, but then they couldn't like CGI out the freaking line in the road.
Yeah, this is James Mangold did this one. He's the guy that did Logan. That's why he's most recent. He did 310 to Yuma, although I wasn't terribly crazy about that movie. But this one here I thought was pretty good because you don't necessarily need to go in knowing anything about cars or anything. The way that they deliver that information is
I'm so disappointed Pete skipped the Henry Ford Museum now.
We went when I was in like 5th grade. I think I skipped it to stay home and play Star Wars or some shit. I probably did, knowing me. I was like, I'm gonna stay home and play with my Star Wars.
That is such an awesome trip.
I didn't really care about cars back then, though. I mean, I was a little kid. I mean, I like going to car shows and shit.
Doesn't matter. Anyway,
whatever. I'd rather have stayed home and played Star Wars. All right.
I thought it was a pretty good pace film. Like this was 2.5 hours. My only gripe about the movie is I feel like this movie, without spoiling anything, because we don't want to do spoilers. I feel like the movie should have stopped at one point, and if it would have stopped there, I would have given this a higher score because it plays on longer than I think it needs to. I think this movie kind of wears out its welcome after a certain point in the third act. And that kind of took it down a notch for me, at least.
See, I don't. Maybe,
but you thought it was kind of a slow build up. I mean, once they get to the race, this movie just like flies.
I feel like because it's based on a true story, or they're whatever the facts and everything that they're trying to put in there. I feel like they kind of I understand what you're doing, but at the same time, you could have cut some of that shit out. And
I agree. I do have to agree with you on that. I think they could have trimmed the fat. I would have trimmed a lot of like the third act out because after I would have stopped it right after the race, like right at the end of the race.
But see that after the race was like that was pretty important.
You liked that more than the build up getting to the race.
Not more. It had to be told.
Like I felt really good after the race, even though, you know, like I said, not spoiling things. Things happened in the race that made sense, but I didn't feel let down by that. It's what happened the whole rest of the film after the race. Just like I felt deflated when I walked out there. I was like, you know, it's like I really enjoyed most of this movie, but that was kind of where it killed it for me. Was just like that last.
I'm the opposite of you.
The last act, I was hoping we get to this.
And then not just because of some events in my family that have taken place. So okay. I feel the opposite of you. I very much appreciated this.
That's fair. I am kind of one of those people too. I want everything to be. I want everything to end. You know what I mean, like a certain way, because the movie is very uplifting, at least in last. Because like these guys are. You know, by all means, they're on their last. You know, they're looking for last chances, and this whole movie is about these two guys not only helping each other, but helping themselves in getting a second chance on life. I mean, it's an underdog kind of sports movie too, in a way. You know, something like Rocky. But if I was going to give this one a score, I'll go ahead and go first. I would give this one, let's say 4.
Did he just boo himself out?
Well, this is now the place to be reviewed, ladies and gentlemen. Taking over. Oh wait,
that's not what I was trying to do. I was trying to click on my face. I would give this one 4 out of 5. It's a movie that I feel is good up to a certain point, but then kind of starts to wear out its welcome in the third act. It's if they would have ended it after the race and just left there and then went straight to credits, I would have probably given it about a star more. It's a great movie. It's a throwback Hollywood movie. It's not over full of like CG and special effects. It's got great performances. It's got a pretty tight script. I found it interesting, but not boring. And it's 2.5 hours, but it probably realistically could have been 2. So I have to agree with MJ on that one.
Yeah.
If you had to give it a score.
So my score is going to be a 4 also.
You're going to give it a 4 as well? Okay.
Yeah. But I really did. I liked the last act. It was just stuff like the details that they tried really hard to put. They put in all the details halfway through it, and they just didn't finish it. Like painting the lines on the road. And then that scene with the airplane. You can't land a fucking airplane like that. Sorry. Not happening. You can't do that. No. The pitch of that and the way that thing was. No. I don't know if anybody knows physics, but yeah.
Would you say this is definitely worth people going and seeing at the movie theater, though?
Yeah, hands down. I've already told like 4 people to go see it.
So. I think this is a good time. I think if you're looking for a good movie, you're not going to be disappointed here. No. Especially, Christian Bale's great. Matt Damon's great. I especially like the chemistry between those two guys.
And I'm not a Christian Bale fan at all.
No, I can take or leave him because like he can be like really creepy sometimes, and
that's why I said I feel like this is him in real life. He didn't.
I was just gonna say I feel like he was being himself. He was speaking in his natural accent. He's acting like himself. He's kind of a likable asshole. You know what I mean? I like that dynamic where, throw the wrench at him. He's like, and then they get in a fist fight. They showed you that in the trailer, so that's not.
They said that was their favorite scene.
That was a good scene, and I'm kind of glad.
Christian Bale said that was their favorite scene.
I was glad that scene played on as long as it did.
Me too.
I enjoyed that. It was just it's kind of something you don't really get to see in movies. That's where they would. So many movies feel like they're just set up to hurry up and get to the action. This one kind of takes its time getting there. I feel like it's earned at least. Yeah.
But at the same time, there was a couple parts prior to that I'm like, we didn't need this shit.
Did you like John Bernthal as Lee Iacocca?
Yeah.
I mean,
he plays the character well. So
John Bernthal shows up, Pete, the Punisher himself. He's Lee Iacocca in this movie.
That was the one thing, and I'll say this because I'm not a big, like I said, I'm not really a big car guy. in movies.
You don't have
Neither
to,
am I.
though.
You don't.
It's
Yeah, you don't
not-
really have to know.
Okay,
anything
because
about
I was gonna
cars,
say, because like movies about cars and stuff like that really don't do outside of like Smoking the Bandit, stuff like that, like Cannonball Run, those the old ones. But this one, I mean, it looked cool, but I'm not knocked the movie or anything.
This
but
one's not so
didn't
much
look
about
like it
the
was
car as much as it's
the
about
story.
the relationship between these two guys and their
Okay.
personal lives. It's really more. I say this is more Christian Bale's movie than it is Matt
Okay.
Damon's.
Oh,
Although
for sure.
they both give a solid performance, but I think the story kind of centers around Christian Bale.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm okay with that. It's like they introduce him. He's an opinionated asshole like me, so I can kind of relate. It's like you're one of these guys. Everybody wants you to say a certain thing, but you're saying what's really on your mind because you want people to know about it. And they're like, you can't talk like that to people. You're not going to get the special prizes if you talk like that to people. And he's like, oh, all right then. You want this to work or not? It's like this is. I'm
But
trying to tell you a thing.
I think his arc was very well rounded.
Do you? Okay.
At the end, do you disagree?
It's not the arc that I had a problem with. It's just that there are certain movies that have happened in the past. Another example is like True Grit, the remake of True Grit, where you feel like even though that's what happens in the book or the story, that maybe you could trim that out just to leave the audience with a certain.
Oh no, I'm not talking about that part.
Okay.
Before the end of the race is what I'm talking.
Oh, the way the outcome of the race, is that what we're talking about? That I actually liked a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like
I enjoyed.
His story arc was very well rounded.
His story arc was very satisfying, as well. His relationship with his son too. I enjoyed that.
It was adorable. That kid was really
whoever
good.
That kid was great.
I meant to look him up because he was.
I got it right in front of me actually.
Okay, good.
Here, the share screen.
Are we keeping you awake, Pete?
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's been a long week.
I've been up since 4:30 today too.
So have we.
Right. If you yawn, I'm gonna start yawning.
We're manning through this. Looks like Noah Jupe. There he is. Noah Jupe. Yeah.
He was.
He looks kind of like that kid from Stranger Things, doesn't he?
Never.
When he's younger.
Was he in? God, he looks like one of the kids from.
Look at that. He looks like he got kicked off the set of Lost Boys.
Yeah.
Well, you wait a mom finds out. My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire.
I love that movie.
Looks just like him.
It's like one of the only horror,
right? Yeah,
that I like.
That's a good place to start in horror because you got here.
Yeah.
But yeah, all the racing sequences with Christian Bale were awesome. I liked those, even though I'm not into race car driving type stuff.
That opening scene, that's how I drive to work. That's literally what my view looked like.
You know what was funny is when I left the theater, the whole time I'm driving home, I got Christian Bale face on.
That happens when you see Fast and the Furious in the theater too.
Yeah, it's probably the case. I don't really go see those movies. I can imagine it would have the same effect. But yeah, I know some of the reviews that I've seen.
You know why I went.
Say that there's not there's not that much racing. That's a flat out lie. There's tons of racing in this movie, and it's all shot.
It's not NASCAR. It's not like you're watching a NASCAR.
No, you're not watching a bunch of people make right turns all day. So that was a bit of a relief. But
I'm pretty sure they're left turns. So.
They're left turns. They made right turns, they'd be banking into the wall all day. I'm not a redneck, but I've seen enough NASCAR to know that. I'm gonna go fast and turn left. I'm gonna use the brake sometimes and downshift occasionally, and then I'm gonna go fast again and turn left. And
I loved that part with Matt Damon and the little kid, the pit crew kid that comes running out with the sign and he grabs out his hand. You dumbass, go sit down.
I thought Matt Damon was great in this movie.
He had a
nice, nonchalant, casual kind. I kind of get like an old school Tommy Lee Jones vibe off of him. Like,
I was sold. I'm telling you. Yeah. When he's standing in the hangar, I was like, perfect right there. But like I said, I liked him a little more plumpy. I think he looked good. Oh, okay.
Did you see this one, MJ?
I did.
Okay.
Last night.
I saw this one last night. I saw it at 7:00.
Mine was.
I had high hopes. I had high hopes when I watched this one because I've seen Chadwick Boseman in things that are better than the movie he's most known for, which is Black Panther.
Did you know that he had a producer credit on this?
I did not know that.
I didn't either. He does.
I read that. They were. I read an article about this, and they said he was a producer on that. That's kind of neat. Good for him, expanding that resume a little bit.
Well, let's not start something.
Yeah, I know. Let's just pull the reins back.
Are you gonna kill this? Are you gonna kill this for me? Fuck.
Wait, do you want me to lie?
No, I don't.
Should we soften it? Should we kind of ease into it a little bit?
I don't.
Just give it to me dirty and hard, okay?
That's what she said.
That's basically what they did.
That's bait. Oh, that's disappointing.
That she said.
I don't know. I was disappointed.
So this is about Recent's called 21 Bridges. It's about a crime that goes wrong. Okay. Fugitives are on the run, and Chadwick Boseman, who I forgot the character's name, I'm going to have to look it up and remember what the character's name was.
I know, that's horrible. I just watched it.
Andre Davis was his name.
There you go.
All right. So Andre Davis is tasked with finding these fugitives, and his first course of action is to close all 21 bridges going into New York and Brooklyn in order to stop them. That's why it's called 21 Bridges. It had Keith David. I saw Keith David's face. I got excited. Oh, Keith David. Yes, I love Keith David. You know who Keith David is, right? From The Thing and the voice of Spawn and
Tales from the Hood too.
Tales from the Hood. He's the guy that gets in a fist fight with Roddy Piper and they live. You know,
yep.
I mean, fantastic character actor. I think he has like 2 lines in this movie. Also, J.K. Simmons is in this with him, and we had predicted that he was channeling his best Denzel Washington performance. I will say that we were a little bit off on that one. I wasn't getting a Denzel Washington vibe at all. I was getting a Chadwick Boseman vibe.
Trying to do a New York accent, sounding like he was gurgling something.
Oh no!
You that's what you thought on that one. It wasn't so much his accent that bothered me. It's just that this movie is filled with people that you know. But it's not a movie about performances. It's not an action movie. The star of the movie is the plot, the story. That is the main focus.
I meant to. Shit.
That's disappointing as hell.
Because hold on. Actually, you have it on your screen too. If you scroll down under the parents' guide, are you on IMDb?
Yes, I'm on IMDb.
Okay, hold on. Keep going. Does it show past? I guess maybe not.
Okay, no. Go ahead. No. User reviews, frequently asked questions. Okay.
Okay, so on my end, under the parents' guide, it rates like violence and gore, profanity, stuff like that. Literally, okay, so violence and gore is severe. Profanity is severe. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, moderate.
That sounds like my kind of movie.
I don't remember any of that. Yeah, no, I remember the gore. There was definitely some violence. Yeah.
After seeing the movie, I was like, oh god. Okay, so I'm just gonna get it. I thought it was super boring, super predictable. Couldn't fucking handle. Anytime he talked, it was a different tone, accent, whatever. Oh, half Pete's face is gone.
The problem with 21 Bridges is that you have, I think a biggest sin a movie can do is you have all these great actors. Okay, you have J.K. Simmons, Academy Award winner.
I will say Stephen.
You have Chadwick Boseman, Academy Award nominee, and the focus is the story. But when there's not much story there, that's where I have a problem. You know what this movie reminds me of, MJ? You ever play Old Maid with like some little kids?
Yeah.
And they take the card and they stick it up real high, like they got the Old Maid, and they're like, pick this one. Like they stick that card up real high. That's this movie for me. It's like you see this shit coming a mile away.
And I'm kind of
that's all you brought? Really?
I'm really disappointed because I've been trying to stay away from the, bad cop films, just people painting cops in a bad way. I'm over that
too. Yeah.
I'm over it. I'm done with it. I try to stay away from that, and I'm like, well, I really want to see this movie, so I went and watched it, and I wish I wouldn't have. But
Is that
there
what
was
this
also
is?
a lot of trailers when we were watching this that was leading up to movies that looked like they're going to be even worse than this one when it comes to the bad cop portrayal. And I'm with you on that one. It's like yes, there are bad cops, but there are also police officers that are trying to live in a world where cops are perceived as bad.
I'm sick of that too.
Okay, there's bad people all around. I mean, it doesn't matter what profession you're in. There's good and bad ones. But anybody that puts their fucking life on the line for me to protect my rights, you're not bad in my book. Sorry.
Yep.
Sorry, not sorry. But yes, I was just like, I was over that. And I'm like, I saw the ending. I fucking knew that was
right.
coming.
That's the problem
like,
is
Can we just fast forward? Like, I just want to go home and go to bed.
They reveal so much detail in the first act that when they get to the third act, it's like, well, we already did all this. I'm like, don't you have like some kind of interesting thing? Don't you think that they could have they could have unfolded some of this stuff a little slower over time? You know, like they could have he said, you made me wait a day for thumbs down.
All that build up.
You know what's funny is
he knows how I roll.
We did not discuss this until just now. So we decided to save our reviews for Friday.
We talk, but we do not talk about the movie.
Nope, did not give our scores, and that's what makes me look forward to this. I'm glad that you agree with it because I'm thinking I'm going to be seen as some kind of a hater or disappointed.
I will say, is it Steven or Stefan? Steven James, the guy that plays Michael? He is jacked. Holy hell.
Is that the old?
Yeah, Steven James.
Oh, shit. The one who used to be in the movies with Michael Dudikoff?
He's not old.
James? Oh, that's not. I'm thinking of a different one.
No, this guy. Yeah.
Oh,
he's a young black guy.
Oh, wait. I'm not.
It might be his son. Shit. Because
he's freaking huge.
Because his dad was ripped out.
There he is.
I wonder if look up his. I want to know if that's the actor Steven James.
But I feel like he was a pretty. I don't want to say bright light. We'll say dim light.
He was doing the best he could with what he had, but it
But yeah, you know, I mean, it seemed like
every chance they had to get some kind of a good performance out of somebody was constantly undercut by, well, we got to get back to the story, and there ain't much of that there. You know, it feels to me like the last half of a season of like a procedural cop show.
Yeah, that's what I feel like.
Condensed
this was
into like a 2-hour movie.
Show.
Yeah, it does. Feels like a made for TV movie.
Yep. And what the hell? Okay, I'm sorry, and this might be a spoiler alert. I'm not really sure.
Minor spoiler alert.
What in the I might be the second tip off that he gets where they're in that apartment. What the fuck scene was that? You had to pull these people out of bed. Why? What the hell? What the hell? I was like, this is the stupidest shit. Ugh. I was just disappointed.
Well, that's not his dad.
No, and it's like you bring in people like Keith David, and then you don't use them. You know, it's like why, man?
Yeah.
That's this movie's biggest sin is it just doesn't have anything going for it.
This thing, I was dying.
Okay, yeah, I got past that real fast. Mine was like, makes you think twice about peepholes. Yeah, but
he's smiling like this. These 2 fingers are gone, and he's sitting there talking. Do you know how much pain you're in? You didn't get morphine. You fucking lost 2 fingers, and you're sitting there having a conversation like everything's great. I get a fucking cut, and it hurts.
There's a particular scene in the movie. It is definitely violent, but it's
yeah. I don't like the blood.
Somebody had described to me in the theater lobby.
That's the other thing. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Did you notice why are they putting like the body bags in the towels and stuff?
Yeah, don't you bring in the CSI to come in and look at those?
Wait, they only did it outside. They didn't do it inside. And then those fuckers that are I can't. Stupid.
Maybe that's a thing now. Maybe they don't want people like snapping with their Snapchatting a body and putting it up on.
It's not a thing.
Facebook or Twitter. I don't know. I'm reaching.
The only time you get a body bag is when you're going.
I'm not going to make apologies for this movie, man. It doesn't deserve it.
It's that bad.
Well, all right. I'll go ahead and give it a score, and then we'll talk about it a little bit more. But if I had to give this one a score, I'm going to say 2 only because of the cast. All right. I like the cast. There's stuff that they could have done with these characters, but they just didn't. All right. So, it's a movie. it's a rental. You know, it's not worth your time. It's not worth going to see it at the theater.
Netflix.
It's a Netflix. Yeah, it's Netflix and chill. I can't
More chill, probably.
maybe more chill than anything else. But you're not going to get invested in it. You're not going to disappear in the story. It's not going to be one of these ones where it's like,
not
oh,
intriguing.
wait, pause it. You know, no, you're going to want it to let it play on, and you'll go to the bathroom and come back, and you probably won't miss that much in between. But
and what you do miss, you can just connect the dots.
So they're not setting up a cinematic universe here.
Oh no. This is not going to get a sequel. I don't know, MJ. If you had to give it a score, what would you?
My score is a 2. Also,
you gonna give it a 2? Also, okay.
Because I feel like I score my movies high. There we go.
Yeah, I think I'm being generous when I give it a 2. I mean, I've seen worse. I've seen worse movies. But it's just like the problem is you know when the star of the movie is the story and you don't have much story there. Well, then you kind of blew it because even if this movie didn't have a good,
the cocaine did better of a story.
The cocaine was more interesting than the rest of the story because it's like
because I was trying to figure out where the zero. Like I was like, wow.
Didn't it also seem like some of the action in this movie was like on cartoonish level, they're jumping through windows and then running? It's almost like they're like, well, you know, we need a few more action scenes. Let's go back and reshoot somebody jumping through a window.
You make it a John Woo movie or something.
Okay, but that was the best part when they were running through. What were they in, like a kitchen or something? I was like, motherfucker, grab one of those pans and throw it at him. Like,
but that's the whole problem with the movie.
Use your resources.
They set something up in that kitchen that's supposed to pay off later, but that really is the movie, is what was set up in that kitchen. I'm like,
stupid.
What? You know, a movie like this, you're watching it like you see movies like The Negotiator or 16 Blocks, movies that have done that a lot better, where there's maybe a twist involving, you know, corruption or something like that. And when that twist is revealed, you're like, oh, holy shit, didn't see that one coming. This one, it's like, it's established right in the beginning of the fucking movie, man.
You don't even need to see the end. You already know about it.
That's just it. It's like the end. It's like it just keeps going. And
he's like, I'm not doing this no more.
I'm like looking at my watch. I'm like,
I'm done reviewing shit. I know. That's what. Okay, so last night I saw 20.
There's a lot of people at my showing too. I was kind of.
Oh, there was 2.
I felt bad. I felt bad for them. There's like I'd say at least maybe a dozen people in there, and I'm like, these people are gonna be disappointed.
I had 2. I had one behind me and one in front of me. I'm like, and the one behind me didn't show up until like 5 minutes into the movie.
But he could have waited the whole time.
So I saw 21 Bridges last night, and then the night before I saw Playing with Fire, and I was like, both of these movies. I'm like, I kept doing my watch. I'm like, God dang. 22 minutes and 30 seconds to go.
I don't know about you, but I've done a couple of double features now, and it's not so bad when your second movie is better than your first one. You don't feel so bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, because I saw Maleficent 2 and what was the other one I saw? Midway. The same night, and they were both really good. So I like.
Yeah. So you lucked out. You had see the last couple double features I had is like one's kind of and then the other one's that was actually good.
My next double feature, because I have 3 options. Well, 4. 21 Bridges is still playing on Thanksgiving. Is Knives Out?
You're not gonna see that again.
No, it's Knives Out, Frozen 2, and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood.
All right. That's a good segue. Why don't we get into A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood?
You're welcome.
Because I actually saw that, and let me get my banner all set up here. But yeah, MJ is going to go see Knives Out because Pete and I are not mature enough to sit through.
I wouldn't give that.
I'm not an adult enough.
I'm even more excited though because I found out I don't have to do a stream. I don't because it's.
When you going to see that?
Thursday.
Yeah. So. Yep.
I asked you and you said not till Monday.
Yeah. You
can't take it back. You said it. If you weren't paying attention, it's not my fault.
I didn't call no take backsies.
Oh no.
No, I'm just kidding. You're fine. You wait. You're already gonna murder me anyway, so I might as well not make it any worse than it has to be.
Hey, where did my thing go?
It's in the private chat.
Oh no, I'm an idiot. Okay. I told you.
And I'm only going to murder you because you choose to say the wrong things.
I
just use your brain once. Just once.
I don't
once
want
a day.
to.
That's all I'm asking for.
So 21 Bridges, while we're sitting here, is currently at a 46% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has an 88 audience score.
That's some bullshit.
Are they being? Is the audience being too generous with this movie? It sounds like
I don't see why. I mean,
I'm fucking disappointed.
Just having somebody in the movie.
I sat through and watched it.
I mean, I'm being really generous with those 2 stars, man, and that's just because I love J.K. Simmons, I love Chadwick Boseman, but they're wasted in this movie. They're and by wasted, I mean they don't do anything with them. There's no standout performance that makes this movie work. The whole point,
I can't.
it's a procedural, and it has nothing to say, you know.
And I can't. At one point, he was talking with a New York accent. The other point, I swear to you,
Kind of dropped that accent, didn't he?
Yeah, I swear to you, he was talking in his normal, whatever accent he has. Then it was like,
yeah,
probably
and then in the
Southern
trailer, he's
accent in there,
channeling
like-
Denzel, so he couldn't figure out where the hell he wanted to be.
No.
That sucks because I've been like since I saw the trailer for this came out. I think around the time like I went to see like Endgame or
And
Spider-Man.
that's something else. They give
It came out at Endgame.
Okay.
No, Spider-Man.
It was Spider. Was
Yeah.
it okay?
They give Chadwick Boseman this whole backstory, and then they don't do nothing with that either. You know, it's just designed to give him some kind of personality or character, and it never really pays off. Like the whole point with Chadwick Boseman's character is that he's shot a lot of people. Like they were all,
But they didn't even like.
they've done that before too. There's a TV show called Justified where they did that way better than they did with Chadwick
The only
Boseman.
time they ever referenced that after that whole bullshit scene that we had to sit through, the only time they ever referenced that was when he said we got a narc and a trigger. I was like, you
He's
said
like,
that.
That's the only funny line in that whole movie. He says, "You better watch how you pronounce that." You know, and like,
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, yeah.
I
so-
actually laughed at that part though. I thought it was pretty funny. He was like,
the theater that I was in, if I would have laughed at that, I don't think I would have walked out of that theater alive. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, I
I don't
probably
fight
would.
me.
I don't know. I don't know how the reactions were for that movie. I think, well, yeah, the reactions were they were underwhelmed. The audience was underwhelmed too. They just like, well, it's not bad, but they really didn't do much either. So it was a story. It was really like kind of sloppy and it's like I said, it's like playing old maid with a little kid and sticking the old maid up like, oh, we pick this one. Like, yep, we knew that was going to happen. You know, absolutely zero people here are surprised, you know, so that was what you brought. You wanted me to be engaged in the story, but the story didn't deliver. So yeah, it's just 2 stars, and I'm being more than generous with that, man. You know?
Did you see Brian's comment down there? Try saying that drunk and see how it turns out.
Exactly. So
what was it? A narc and a trigger was the line. I'm enunciating that very Caucasianly right now, as Caucasianly as I can. If I said that in my relaxed tone, that might be misconstrued horribly.
But it was a funny line, and I don't know if it was meant to be funny.
I would have fucking laughed.
But yeah, how did you like that Subway teaser where he was like, you weren't sure if they were getting on the subway or not for a minute? I'm like,
that was kind of cool, but then they didn't do nothing with that either. It's just.
But you knew they were going to get on the fucking subway. You knew it. I mean,
and
sorry.
also, yeah, when.
But it was cool.
That was another reveal that wasn't too shocking either. It's like, oh yeah, well, of course, you know, of course.
Wasn't there a Denzel movie where he was on a train like or something?
Well, that was
This looks familiar.
There's also a movie called Speed where they're on a subway.
Was it Pelham?
Way better.
Not Pelham.
Oh yeah, Pelham 1 2 3.
Pelham 1, 2, 3,
which is also a remake of the original movie,
Yep.
also called Pelham 1 2 3.
With him and John Travolta, wasn't it? I thought so.
Yeah, very bald psycho, almost John Travolta-ish, or almost Nicolas Cage type John Travolta.
Because that's where that meme came from, him shooting that chick in the head at the dinner table. Yeah, I remember that from a couple years ago because I used that template a lot.
Careful, you're gonna spoil 21 Bridges.
He's bald sometimes too. So, but yeah.
I haven't seen the movie.
It's bad.
It's not worth seeing 21 Bridges, man.
Netflix, wait for Netflix.
You can sit that one out. You can stream it. There's better movies out there competing for your entertainment dollar. So, but then I saw A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I was a little disappointed there wasn't more people in the theater, but then again, it was late at night because that's when I could see it. But this movie starring Tom Hanks, the wonderful Tom Hanks, can I just say that having Tom Hanks alive in this universe is a blessing. Can I at least say that much? I'll pull this up here so we can take a look at him, what he looks like as Mr. Rogers. Because I always want to call this movie the Mr. Rogers movie because I can never seem to say A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. I always want to say hello, neighbor. No, that's a short. I don't want
It's
that.
a beautiful day in my neighborhood.
This movie is not a biopic about Mr. Rogers, by the way.
Yep, I heard.
It is a fairy tale.
That's what the last trailer we watched kind of looked like. It wasn't based on like factual.
So here, I just want to put Tom Hanks's face in there. He is as Fred Rogers. Opens up with the famous. If you guys have ever seen Mr. Rogers, I guess I should probably preface this by saying that I was not allowed to watch Mr. Rogers when I was a kid. If it was on,
it was like one of my two options. I could.
My dad would come through the living room and he would turn it off. He'd say, "This is going to make you wimpy." So I was not allowed to watch, but I would never turn it over. Like I was never like completely bored watching Mr. Rogers as a little kid. So
I love Mr. Rogers.
I wasn't terribly invested in this, but I do remember like certain nuggets of this and that. And I see a few episodes of it. You know, my dad wasn't always home. So when he was home, if he said that, it wasn't, you know, that was just my dad being my dad. But anyways, yeah, it opens up like with the famous song, "It's a Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood," and I don't want to get copyright strike. But yeah, so he does that whole thing, throwing the shoe. You've seen that in the trailer. The movie is actually about this guy. It's the guy that's the author of Esquire. In this movie, he's called Lloyd Vogel, which is a fictional movie or a fictional name. The only truth that this movie's based on is there was a Mr. Rogers and there was an Esquire magazine. There was an article written about Mr. Rogers that got featured in Esquire magazine. The rest of it is a fairy tale.
Lloyd hates the show. He's
this. Fuck
no. Hold on. Lloyd Vogel is you know, he's got some problems in life, and it literally opens up. He's got like a board, and he's like, "These are some of my friends," and you see Lloyd Vogel, and he's got a big old shiner on his nose, and he's got some problems in his life, and I don't want to like spoil too much of that. His dad is played by Chris Cooper, who I love. Chris Cooper is great in every movie. But it's more or less, you know, the author is trying to write a hit piece on Mr. Rogers. Like he doesn't get how he works. He thinks there's something more insidious there. And as he gets to know Mr. Rogers, he realizes that not only is he genuine, but he genuinely wants to help Lloyd in his life. Okay. This is a perfect holiday feel-good movie. When you see Tom Hanks as Mr. Rogers, it's wonderful. Because at first I was getting a little nervous. I'm like, oh, I hope I didn't see all the Tom Hanks parts in the trailer. And this is just all about this guy and his wife and some problems. And they just, you know, Mr. Rogers happens to dance through this movie a couple of times, but that's definitely not the case. It's the whole thing is shot and plays out like an episode, like a long episode of Mr. Rogers. So when they do like establishing shots, they have like all the little cars and all the little models and miniatures and all that. So when they're going to Philadelphia, you see like a miniature version of Philadelphia. You see like a little plane with the stick hanging off of it. And it's like lit like that. Oh, it's totally like that. And you got like the piano music playing all through it and everything. And this movie, unlike the last one, 21 Bridges, has a wonderful script. I mean, it's a really,
I
really
will
good
say,
story.
Back to 21 Bridges real quick. The Hemi did sound nice. The Hemi sounded nice. I will say that.
The what sounded nice?
The Hemi.
Hemi.
In the Challenger. In 21 Bridges.
I don't know what that means.
That motor. It's a 5.7 liter.
Oh, okay. See, that's how much I know about
I have
cars.
one in my truck.
Everything I know about cars I got from Ford v Ferrari. So that's all I know.
Well, there wasn't any of those.
But yeah, this one is the two get to know each other. They realize that, you know, Mr. Rogers takes interest in people that have problems and kind of tries to help him work through some of his problems. And as he works through the problems, he starts to change not only the way he feels about Mr. Rogers, but also the way he feels about problems that are going on in his own life. And by the end of the movie, you got a new lease on life, man. You feel like you want to go out in the world, do good. And of course, watching Tom Hanks is wonderful. And this is always, did I 100% buy him as Mr. Rogers? Not necessarily, but I still liked the effort. You know what I mean? I enjoyed it.
That's how I kind of felt from the trailer. I'm like, oh, not. I know it's Tom Hanks. Nobody can ever replace Mr. Rogers and replace Tom Hanks. So yeah. But I mean, he's wonderful anyway. So,
but yeah, this movie is definitely worth everybody's time. You did not get a chance to watch this one. I'll tell you that if it's going to be between this and 21 Bridges, this one won't disappoint you. This one here is probably, let's see if I had to give this one a score. I'm just kidding. I had this one figured out even before I started the show. This is definitely, I have to give this one a 5 because I could not find any fault with it. It had a great script. It had decent performances. I wasn't really familiar with this actor at first that plays Matthew Rhys. Yeah, Lloyd Vogel. You start to like him. You know, he has problems, but you kind of get where he's coming from. You know what I mean? Everybody's had somebody in there.
Pete's face is a cheese curd.
Yeah.
Sorry. It has a hat on.
Pete's head is really a cheese curd. Sorry about that.
Damn it. No, that was funny. I was trying to
funny.
line it up right now after I noticed it.
Yeah, it's definitely worth your time and effort. It's good that it's out during the holidays. It's a good feel good movie. It's got some tear jerking moments in it, but it like I said, it's an uplifting kind of movie. It's not something you're going to go out and feel bad and want to drive off the side of a bridge or a little toy bridge,
like the last two that I watched.
Fall down into a bathtub full of blue liquid. Yeah. No, 21 Bridges didn't make me want to drive off a bridge, but I definitely didn't want to go back.
I could not wait for it to be done.
You know what? The trailer was more interesting than that one, but this one here, I'm happy to say that the trailer for A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, yay! I finally said it right. Pats on the back.
Yeah.
It's you don't see all. The trailer didn't reveal too much. I'm happy to say.
Finally.
In fact, the best parts are when people are talking to Mr. Rogers and he's reacting with people. That's when you feel like Tom Hanks really is Mr. Rogers. And there are points where you stop thinking about Tom Hanks. You're like, this guy really is Fred Rogers, because it's like he's kind of fencing with Vogel, and Vogel's like, I don't want to talk about me. I want to talk about you. And Mrs. Rogers like, oh, well, that's unfortunate, It is like, it almost comes off like he's kind of creepy sometimes because there's parts where he'll like pull out the puppets, like the lion, the cat, and all that. And he'll be talking with the puppets, and then Vogel's just sitting there like, are you for real right now? Are you fucking serious? It's like, put the puppets away. You're creeping me out, But as it unfolds, you see why he is what he is and why he had the following that he had. He takes a lot of great joy in helping people that maybe lost their way or feel broken or have problems in life. And, like I said, it's a fairy tale, but it's a good fairy tale. It was a great script. It was greatly directed. I liked every minute of it. So yeah, definitely 5 out of 5 for me on that one.
I remember hearing a story about Mr. Rogers, about what he did, during I think it was like in the 60s, still kind of like there was still some segregation going on, and he did because wasn't didn't he have was it the postman on his show? Was an African American gentleman?
Yes.
And he had him sit down with him and put his feet in the swimming pool because that was a thing. There was like segregated pools, and he did that.
His show was famous for dealing with issues that most children's shows would never even discuss or pretend like they existed. And he would deal with them through the lens and eye of a child and try to identify. And that's one thing that this movie communicates very well. It's not so much, this is not a Mr. Rogers biopic. It's more about the legacy of Mr. Rogers and the effect that he had on people. And the importance of the show in how he dealt with problems by remembering how it felt to be a child. And at one point he even asked, Vogel, he says, do you remember what it was like when you were a child? And most of us forget. We lose our way. We forget what it was like to be a kid. And he says, I think part of being a parent is, somebody asked him, he says, well, how do you be a good parent? He says, I think part of being a good parent is remembering what it was like to be a child and be able to relate how you felt when you were that age. How would you deal with something? How would you help somebody get through a bad time? And I really appreciate about this movie. It wasn't like beating you over the head with it either. It was just kind of slowly easing you into it. And like I said, I liked the way that the whole thing played out like an extended episode of Mr. Rogers. That made it really neat. I appreciated all those little establishing shots, because first you're thinking, oh, this could be kind of weird. But after the second or third scene, I'm like, I kind of like where this is going. It was a nice little tale. It's almost like a Hallmark original if it was good. You know what I mean? Because like most of those Hallmark originals are like so sappy and campy and schmaltzy and everything.
Oh,
but
yeah,
they're still better than Playing with Fire.
This one had a lot of heart to it, and yeah, it's from what I
would watch
hear,
the Hallmark Channel all day long.
From what I understand,
what about
it's
Lifetime?
way better than Playing with Fire. So.
Yeah, we're as soon as I swear to you, I will pay to send you the DVD so we can have a watch party of that.
Of what?
Playing with Fire.
Oh, I'll just go down to the video store.
I want to riff it so bad. I mean, I was anyways, but
We can do that.
It's horrible. It's a horrible movie.
We can definitely do that. I'm glad to hear that the Beautiful Day one was, in the neighborhood.
Yeah, Beautiful Day. The Mr. Rogers movie is definitely worth your time. It's something you can take the whole family to. It's not, there's not. I mean, it's an adult's movie, but there's not anything in it that's so bad that you'd have to hide their ears or cover anything. It's just not like any
earmuffs,
schmaltzy and innuendos or any of that kind of stuff. It's not a comedy. It's not a rom-com. It's more or less it's a fairy tale about adults trying to remember what it's like to be children. You know what I mean? And I kind of liked that. I liked the message. I loved Tom Hanks' performance because at first I was afraid that maybe we wouldn't get enough of it, but then eventually you do. And you don't just see Mr. In fact, one of the questions he asks him is like, they showed this in the trailer, so it's not a big spoiler. It's like, well, let's talk about you, Fred Rogers, not the character Mr. Rogers. He just kind of looks at him like, motherfucker, I am Mr. Rogers.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean the character Fred
That is
Rogers?
this is who I am.
And he kind of realizes it after a while that this is a genuine guy. It's like it would be like if you met actual Santa Claus, if Santa Claus was real. That's kind of what this is, so
okay.
Santa Claus is real.
In fact, there's one particular part where Fred Rogers walks into a house and somebody's like, holy crap, it's Mr. Rogers. I laughed so loud in the back of the theater. I was like, wow. It was the timing of it was perfect. But Pete, you watched some TV shows this week, man? You want to tell us about some stuff?
Any good ones or just bad ones?
Any good ones? Or just all bat whammons and bad stuff.
Well, I'm going to start out with we were talking about, you said there was nothing like that kids couldn't see in Mr. Rogers. So I'm watching Disney with my son right before he goes to bed. And this is a 7-minute episode of a show called Bluey. It's a cartoon dog, him and his family. They're like, I don't know, they're little dogs. They're from, it's out of Australia. Okay, so this is like a BBC type show. And it was funny because they were taking pictures and the mom did something to the dad, the kids were all, there's the Bluey and Bingo are the daughters. And the dad.
But they're dogs?
They're dogs, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Sorry.
It's seriously.
Follow along. I'm trying.
I'm gonna do a goddamn screen share of this because Trey sings along with the theme song in the commercials at the beginning of stuff. I'll pull it up. So while I'm talking about this, so that's what that is actually. So the dad takes a picture of the people weren't thinking they were gonna get a fucking Disney Junior show review, but no, this scene was so funny because they're taking pictures and the dad takes a picture of the mom and she does something. He takes a picture, he snaps the Polaroid and it's down over his groin. And as he looks at her and he goes like that, the picture comes out of the camera and me and my wife are sitting there going, holy shit, was that just in this fucking
whoa?
Yeah, I'm like, that was a goddamn Bluey. So all right. So I was actually talking to our Australian contingent about this, Chris Wicks. And
Chris Wicks.
He hadn't heard. Yes, hail Chris Wicks.
I can't imagine that he has time to watch cartoons.
But he has kids. He has little kids. So that was the only thing I thought he might. The kids might watch. It's from Australia. I mean, All right. Here's the. Hang on. I'm gonna go to just the little opening video because it's freaking adorable. Hang on. God damn it. Pause. God damn you, Bluey. All right.
God.
So before I actually get into my reviews, we're gonna watch the 37-second trailer for the just the beginning credits of the show here.
That's pretty short for a trailer nowadays. Most of them are like a small version of the movie.
All right, so here it is right here. It's seriously, this is adorable. Trey sings this. No, you have to picture my kids. Monica, you've met him. You can see him singing this.
Does he dance too?
Yes, he dances. And the dad is a goofball. He's like, seriously, it's like, that's me.
He does look a little like you.
He does. He almost got the same ears. And my kid just loves this show. It's freaking adorable.
Yeah, it looks cute.
It is. But so, no, that scene with the Polaroid was now into my actual reviews.
And now sports.
And now brick with
and now
for something completely different.
I'm pretty sure I just stabbed a guy with a trident. I might want to lay low for a while. Okay, so this week I watched Batwoman, and real quick review of Batwoman episode 7. It's terrible. Don't waste your time. I'll do it for you. Go watch my video. No, it was a bad episode. They have a throwaway villain every week, and this week it's this guy named the Rifle, who is the Rifle. He's a sniper. Oh, never saw that one coming, did you? And he's constantly being like just put down and emasculated by Rachel Skarsten's character Alice, who is Kate Kane or Beth's her sister. And that's it. Like, that's not even a spoiler. Like, he's just constantly like put down, and he's like, the villains they introduce weekly are just throwaway villains. This episode really didn't do much. I mean, I've kind of put it out of my mind. But it really didn't advance anything. It was a terrible episode. It was just another hot mess of a Batwoman show. It's not getting any better. Ruby Rose is still flat. You got to meet the biggest thing to come out of this episode was you got to meet Alfred Pennyworth's daughter, Julia, who, because of the way the New 52 comic went, she was of mixed ethnicity in the comic. So everybody expected her to be of mixed ethnicity on the show. They cast a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white lady. People started to kind of, the 10 people that watched the show, I think, 9, because I really don't care, started to kind of freak out. But then you look back, and Alfred Pennyworth's daughter the original was white. So this was like the biggest controversy to come out of this episode was that. But they have their the villains have their, I don't want to say it's a MacGuffin because it's really not, but I mean, I guess it's like it's a weapon. Almost, it's like it's the weapon that could kill Batwoman, that could pierce the suit, right? And of course Alice got her hands on it.
Let me guess, it's toxic masculinity. I said that tonight at dinner time, and my sister almost choked on her food. I was like, it's probably toxic masculinity. And she started cracking up.
No, it's this gun that was developed by Kate's her stepmom, or her company, and it got stolen, of course. And it's just, they don't go anywhere. Like, I don't know. They're setting up for episode 8 as like the Mad Tea Party. So this is like the end of no, there's a couple episodes left in this first half of the season. God damn it. I was praying for cancellation by now, honestly. And the ratings keep slipping.
This one, it's almost like a race to see which woke franchise is going to die first. Is it going to be Doctor Who, or is it going to be Batwoman? The difference is, though, is Doctor Who had like 1,000 years of dedicated fans since the early 1960s.
Yeah.
Batwoman has an old black and white movie that came out in 1966. So,
I mean, outside of like the comics and stuff, which I never read the comics, but I mean, I've heard from people that know that the comics are actually way better than what the show is, and that's not hard to take. It's a CW Greg Berlanti Arrowverse show, and outside of Arrow, there really aren't many good. I mean, Supergirl's
is the
trash.
Flash still going, or did they end the Flash?
The Flash is getting ready to enter season 7, and the only reason I'm going to start watching it again is because now I haven't watched season 4. They're in season 7. It's getting ready to premiere. I haven't watched.
Now, didn't the Flash come out before Arrow?
No.
Flash
Arrow
came out later, so Arrow started all this.
Arrow was in season 2 when
the Flash started.
They
That's
wrapped
why it's
season
called
2,
the Arrowverse. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they could make the Flash like the center of the Arrowverse. If
Absolutely.
If they're going to end Arrow, they're going to have something, because they ain't going to be Batwoman.
No.
Yeah, they just wrapped their last show.
Well, they've got a new one coming out now called Stargirl. Don't ask me. I'm not watching it. I'm not watching any trailers. I'm not.
Then you stop talking shit right now.
I'm just saying that I saw this today in an article. They're coming out with a new one called Stargirl because they said they're already going to cross her over in the Arrowverse. I'm like, She ain't even been
You're
on
treading-
anything
you're
yet.
I'm
treading
looking forward to.
you're treading
I'm looking forward to
water,
that.
buddy.
I'm looking forward to that Cats review, aren't you?
I'll fucking
yeah.
watch. I'll do Cats before I
Cats,
watch this
yeah.
goddamn show because Cats is a one-off. I only got to see that once. You know what I'll do for Cats? I will watch that online for free.
Careful what you say. The internet never forgets, Pete.
I will if I can.
You talked him right on into that.
If I can, no, I'm not going to the theater to see it. But if I can stream it, if I find a site where I can stream it, I will
You can
watch
stream it.
because I'll watch
no
it at home because I ain't paying any money.
We don't condone piracy on Raiders of the Lost Flicks.
No.
Har, you matey. Har, har.
I mean, I would not do that. I will go to the theater and watch it. Gosh. I can get my
I'll
iPad.
go to the theater in Tortuga.
Wait.
Har, har.
I can't get up right now. I forgot I got the camera on the freaking thing. I could turn my whole computer, but I got an eye patch here somewhere. My Nick Fury eye patch. But
Yeah,
no,
we're sitting at that thing and he lifts his little eye patch up to talk to me with both eyes. I was like, no, motherfucker.
just put it. I just put my iPad. I was just like, no, you're wearing that thing.
Part of cosplaying, Pete,
Yep.
is you can't break character. Damn it!
I know.
I should know that from wrestling, but I used to break character all the time in wrestling.
Oh,
So
okay.
I did. I was bad. I did. Yeah. Anyway, so no, this episode of Batwoman was. I mean,
I can't.
if we had negative, I would go negative. But I mean, it's a 1.
I'm
out
gonna
of
need
5.
Adam to start getting a negative.
No, we ain't doing no negative.
You don't have to do negative.
I'm kidding.
I'm keeping it simple, folks.
Yep.
It's 1 for the worst.
I have to eat.
You can say negative after, but you still have to pick the lowest. and
It's a
then go
1
from
out of
there,
5.
yeah.
I mean,
Gotcha.
it's a
Okay.
bottom of the barrel.
The
episode.
entire season or just the episode?
They've gotten progressively worse. Like every week, I'm like, this is the worst episode, and then they do something and totally redeem themselves in my eyes and make themselves look even worse. And this week was the return of Vesper Fairchild, or as she's known,
Your favorite,
Rachel Maddow. Oh yeah, the most annoying voice on all of cable news, arguably, is Vesper Fairchild, a radio talk host on in Gotham City, and she takes some shots at Batwoman too. Like she missed a crime, and she's like, was she dyeing her wig or her hair, or was she putting on her different shades of lipstick? And it's like, oh my god, who writes this? Like, I think I could give my kid a box of crayons and some construction paper, and he could come up with a better script.
So let me ask you this: is anything
going to.
Batwoman related even hinted at going above 1 cheese curd, or no?
There was one episode that did, but I think
But if you had to give the series an overall rating so far, you're still at 1.
I'm at like 1 to 1.5. That's
hi
it.
Chris.
Hey, Chris. Hail, Chris.
Hail, Chris Wicks.
Welcome aboard.
Chris, Chris shows up and he missed Bluey. He missed Bluey.
Well, he made it for Batwoman. He
You
missed
made it-
all of the show.
You missed the best parts of the show. He'll have
You missed their movie
later. Yeah,
I just put on.
no backtracking here.
I'm gonna send you a video on a PM, Chris. It's from the show. We were talking about it because I had to do TV reviews, so I was talking about a Disney Junior show from Australia called Bluey. But anyway,
Focus.
so onto okay, so I'm done with Batwoman. I can get onto something actually.
You have
like
nothing
now.
good from that.
From Batwoman. I gleaned nothing from that. It was
okay.
It was garbage.
But the entire season so far.
The entire season's like a 1. I mean, they're not doing anything. Like you've got throwaway villains every week. Like the rifle. Spoiler alert, he was the first one, the villains that didn't get arrested or killed. He just kind of like, because they might use him later, which I'm kind of shocked because the trend has been like Magpie. They introduced Magpie in like episode 3, and she was pretty much like costumed out like she was in was it Batman Beyond cartoon I have, like 13 or 14 episodes. I mean, it's like a pretty dope costume.
Dude, I walked past the movie theater on Birds of Prey. Oh, man, it's gonna be bad.
Even
the poster's bad, dude.
I took back everything because I was like, at first I'm like, this doesn't look too bad, and then the marketing hits, and I'm like, F this movie in the
yeah, it's getting there, man. It's got.
Adam, have you noticed the Pete trend yet?
When I like something, it goes to shit.
He does.
Yeah, you give it a fair shake first, and then it just goes, "Hold my beer.
Yep.
I'll
Yeah.
show you. I don't get even with you."
He's like, "Oh, I really like this. I'm digging this," and then it's like, "Oh,
Like I said, I can
I already know."
always go back to Thor 4. They're like Thor 4. I'm like,
I
Thor.
like to be optimistic. I'm optimistic about some of the things that are coming out, and then some of them, like, I'm like, oh wow, we're gonna do Call of the Wild and Little Women again. I'm like, oh,
Little
all
Woman,
right, all right.
Little Woman.
Yeah.
Live that life every day.
I wasn't gonna. I wanted to make that joke, but I was not going to.
Well, you might as well do it now because
you're a little woman.
I am.
Petite. Anyway, so
Okay, next.
on to the Mandalorian now. Episode 3. If I could do the Ric Flair woo really loud right now, I would, but I don't want to wake the boy up. But my God, was this episode amazing.
Oh, that's not where I thought you were going.
Oh my God. And this it's such a bittersweet thing for me because I am absolutely in love with this show. Like, and this episode was directed by Deborah Chow, and I heard in a couple of the groups I'm in, people were like, "Oh, this is the first episode directed by a woman. Let's see how it goes." Well, you got probably arguably out of the 3 episodes the best one thus far.
Cool.
Today. God damn, man. Of course, Baby Yoda has taken the internet by storm.
Proof that the Raiders of the Lost Books crew gives credit where credit is due.
Yep. And like I said, I'm proud fan of Menace, man. You can't, hey, here's my goddamn avatar. I am proud fan of Menace, but
should have been your other little guy in this blue sweatshirt.
When they do something right, when Disney does something right, I will. As Groove said the same thing. I will give credit where credit is due, and right now they are hitting all the beats on the tune they're playing with.
They know that they'll have me as their bitch as soon as they put those movies out on 4K. Like, I'll be there. I'll be pre-ordering. Yeah. If there's a collector's version of that set, I'll be all over that. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is I mean, developmentally, even the score, it's starting to grow on me, that whole Western vibe to it, because, like you said, Star Wars, we're used to John Williams. We're used to John Williams' epic scores every movie.
Do you like the fact that it's at least trying to do something different from the other Star Wars?
I do. I'm absolutely like, and I'm probably going to catch hell for it, and I'm going to get, you're selling out. No, I wanted good Star Wars, and this is I'm getting what I want right now. So why would I complain?
And we covered that on the boardroom meeting on Wednesday, where it's like it might be the hip cool thing to just constantly hate something that comes out under Disney or Star Wars, but the point is, it's not the company. It's just we want more good product, less bad product, and we'll protest until you give us the good product.
And that's it. And I
think we like things. That's where we're passionate, is what we're getting at.
I really think that
we're not a hate group.
No, not even close. Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni should be running Lucasfilm. I mean, Jon Favreau could run Lucasfilm right now, as far as I'm concerned. He's probably he wrote this show. Now,
I'd say he probably had more to do with making the MCU what it is than Kevin Feige.
Oh, he did. Yep. He absolutely did. Jon Favreau
would be employed if it wasn't for Jon Favreau.
No, because Iron Man was like, didn't Favreau write that?
If I was Jon Favreau, I'd be like, fuck you, Kevin Feige, kiss the ring, man.
That's the thing, is like, Jon Favreau, he's a good actor. I've liked some of the movies he's been in, but god damn, is he a good writer. Like, that is the thing, man.
He's just like a brilliant mind.
Is. He absolutely is.
It's the skank shift. The beautiful babies don't work on a Wednesday. Sorry. Deep cuts. Swingers.
Deborah Chow. Okay, there we go. Goober Brothers up in the chat. Chris is coming up there. Deborah Chow is show running the Obi-Wan series. Okay, so she directed this episode of The Mandalorian. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you haven't seen this episode yet, and you are a fan of, if you've seen the Clone Wars and you've seen the Mandalorian arc with Duchess Satine on there, that's not what they do here. But I'm saying you get to see more of the Mandalorians, is in plural, in this episode, which is cool because they've showed them in passing, because they kind of have to stay hidden underground. Only one of them leaves where they kind of reside at a time, because they're not allowed. They're basically like kind of like an endangered race, you know. So they hide out. And everybody that was complaining on Twitter about representation in the show and no women and all that, you know what? Okay. When it makes sense to the story now, the blacksmith for the Mandalorians, there comes a point in the show where it is made very clear that she is very important to this story. Okay, Deborah Chow is directing episode 7 as well. Awesome. See, that's but so this whole thing about, oh well, there was these people, these blue check marks on Twitter that are freaking out because 19 minutes and 45 seconds until a woman was on screen in The Mandalorian. Oh no, I'm gonna clutch my pearls. Oh, I mean, it's ridiculous.
Oh boy.
When it serves the story, there's going to be, because we already know Gina Carano's on here. I can't remember her name, but she was on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Very beautiful woman. She's
Which one?
Asian, the Asian lady. She's one of the agents. I can't remember her name, but she's awesome. Like I really dug her in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She was a badass. And you know, like she's in the show too. And you've got, you know, so I'm like, you've got two very, very good in Gina Carano. This is the thing with her coming on the show. Everybody says, oh well, these females need their strong women. And okay, so I'm not gonna buy 5'9", 100-pound Ella Balinska and Charlie's Angels beating the shit out of a dude my size, but I sure as hell wouldn't step foot in the fucking octagon with Gina Carano, and I've got almost 100 pounds on her, because she can legitimately fight. She is a badass. And that is I think that is gonna translate to this role for her, because it did in Haywire, which was not a great movie, but it really showcased you know, her choreographed fighting ability. So I'm looking forward to seeing her, you know, kind of make her debut on this. And I hope she's not just like some, you know, one-off ancillary character. But we do get a lot more nostalgia in this one, and in a good way, in a very good way. You know, we get to see some cool shootouts, and we're getting to see the Mandalorian Pedro Pascal's character actually use his tech and his weapons, and he gets some new toys from the blacksmith who works with the Beskar steel, which is what he gets as a reward for, you know, his bounty. But yeah, this is, I mean, oof, and it's just everything. And you get more of a Werner Herzog this episode, which is really cool, because I just like, he's like Andre from Midnight's Edge. Big shout out to Midnight's Edge. I just like listen. The dude has that voice that you could just listen to. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, you just listen to him talking. This is kind of captivating. You know what I mean? Just one of those voices. So he's got a cool, you know, little appearance this episode. I'm trying to think, you know, Carl Weathers is in it. He's featured pretty prominently this episode, which there's never a bad time for Carl Weathers.
I want to see another movie where he arm wrestles Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I was with
Dylan, you son of a bitch.
The epic handshake.
What's the matter? FBI got you pushing too many pencils?
Let's see. Wait, none of the anti-fandom menace groups are pouring shade on The Mandalorian. Everyone's in agreement the show is amazing, and the only SJWs are attacking the show. That's it too. Like I said, man, I got into it on Twitter. She didn't respond. That's all right. But I lit into her a couple times. Miss Gamergate. I ain't saying her name again. I already said it once. Y'all know who I'm talking about. I kind of laid into her for her bullshit. And I mean, because you're,
I'd buy that for $1.
you're attacking this show for no reason. I mean, the show is awesome. We want a good Star Wars. We got it. Now, don't start paying. Oh, well, it didn't have game. You still got Rey in episode 9. You got your Mary Sue, okay? And all these leaks coming out with that are not. I'm going to see. You want me to go see Cats? Goddamn, you're trying to kill me. I'm going to see Rise of Skywalker too. You trying to kill me?
It depends, Pete. Depends. Let me ask you this: if you go see Cats, how long do you have to tell MJ and I how much you hate it? Like how long do we have to hear?
No, because this is gonna be, and I'm gonna catch so much shit for this.
If I go see Cat and Rise of Skywalker within like a week, y'all are gonna hear about it until next Christmas.
But you know what?
No, isn't Jumanji coming out the same day though? Isn't Jumanji coming out the same time as Rise of Skywalker?
I think so.
I'll go see that. In fact, I need
Oh,
to
I'm
go
going.
and see. I need to see the original Jumanji first because I still haven't seen it. So
You haven't seen the original
It's
Jumanji?
the
No.
best.
Wow, that was
I'll
awesome.
watch that and I'll go see it because I could stare at Amy Pond all day and not even Karen Gillan. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, dude, she's a smoke show.
She has a very nice midriff.
Yeah, she's
Just
a
saying.
hottie. That, like I said, man. But no, so
No, it's you know it's we like to compliment the things that you know.
and she's a damn good actress, man. She was awesome in Endgame. Like,
Swing, swing. Shut
She has another movie coming up. Too.
does she?
Karen Gillan.
Yeah.
Good.
I told her not
You'll
to
see-
release. I told her not to release that tape.
You'll see the
God
trailer
damn
for it.
God damn it.
You wish, buddy.
Oh. Well, I mean, if I have a list.
Don't say.
Anyway, but no, so Mando this episode is we get some really cool like fight sequences, battle sequences. Of course we get more Baby Yoda. And I think
Uncle Yoda.
Baby Yoda.
it's I call him Baby Yoda because we don't have a name of his species yet. So motherfucker's Baby Yoda.
Or as what was it somebody said to me earlier that says Yoda baby and hurry down the chimney tonight.
No, Chris, it does not. Thank
Yoda
you for
baby.
asking.
That's what I love about Monica. I'm like, hey, does any of this shit button? No, I don't fucking care. Monica,
No,
you care?
you
This is
wanna-
all the women superheroes? Well, no, because we need good ones first.
Yeah, no,
That's usually your answer.
MJ's not the one who's just sitting there like counting the minutes before a woman speaks.
Yeah.
In a
No.
Got her
TV.
stopwatch out. and
Like
shit.
seriously, how fucked up is your life to where that's how you're measuring entertainment? Like, oh, nobody speaks until exactly 3 hours and 36 seconds into the series before. Shut up.
That's
Do
it.
you
All
know
right.
most of the time? Okay, I mean,
Yeah,
I am a female that is attracted to males, so most of the time when there's a show, I know, right? It's insane. But half the time I'm like, well, this bitch shut up so the male can come back.
All right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's see. Okay, so I've got some Mandalorian reviews from Twitter. Okay. Now,
Oh boy.
let's see. And it's funny because where is the one that points out the amount of time that goes by? Because I believe it was a guy that time.
It was. You read it
Probably
on
Paul
Wednesday.
Feig.
That's right. I did read that the other night. Yep. I was looking. I jumped on Data Racer 117's page on Twitter. And if you
Paul Feig that said it.
yeah, and if you
This
guys,
guy?
yeah,
Yeah, that
he
guy.
makes the chin like this. He's like,
I do like his bow tie though.
you know, the thing is, like, I
I
made
like bow ties.
I made the joke in my video, my Charlie's Angels video about Paul Feig, because I used that still of him flipping, you know, on
I
this.
saw it.
I was like, that looks like what my toddler would do if he flips him off. He'd be like, you know, I'm like, Paul, this is a grown ass man. But anyway,
You
so
like bow ties, MJ. Who wore it better, the guy from Six Flags or Matt Smith?
I don't know who either of those are.
Matt Smith played Doctor Who. He was the 8th Doctor, I believe. Yeah.
I
yeah,
haven't
Six
seen
Flags,
it.
you don't know
More
the
flags, more fun.
old commercials. You
I don't
remember
have
that?
cable.
These were on like 20 years ago.
You are aware of an invention called TV, and on this invention they show shows. right?
Okay, so from when I was 6th grade until now, I have not had time to watch TV
Yeah.
commercials, shows. Pete
Okay.
knows.
Yeah.
I don't even
So-
know why you're questioning that.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. I don't even know what fucking day it is. I just remembered Groove had a show tonight at 8:30. That's why I remembered what day
I
it
know.
was.
I wanted to say that. No, I've never seen that guy in my life.
Yeah, that's the fun bus.
I made it 7:30 and not 8:30. For some reason, I was thinking on Wednesday you guys were starting at 8:30 my time. I was like, oh, this is perfect. The movie's gonna be over right on
the
time.
way this week
and-
is unfolded, I wouldn't even worry about it. We're
I was
lucky
like,
we
oh,
all made.
shit.
We
Yeah.
not only did we all make it tonight, we all managed to be on time. So,
Yeah.
how did that even happen?
So the Mandalorian, I'm giving this one. I'm going. This might be a reach, but I'll go 5 out of 5 on this episode. I mean, for me,
Wow.
it hit the beats. That might be high, but hey, I got cheese. I get wait.
There you go.
Pac-Man. Nom nom nom.
So
nom,
Pete's
nom,
review on the
nom, nom.
Mandalorian thus far, series is kind of being drip fed out over the weeks. He's given it 5 so far. He really likes the direction it's going in.
Absolutely. I can't complain about it at all. I got nothing.
What is for the show in a nutshell? What's your score? Words are getting hard.
I would go, hang on. I'm not done eating this cheese curd yet. I'm trying to eat my way through it. There we go. I ate. Okay. Cool. I got and I said
level up.
I did. I had my power pellets. No, I would go about 4.5 out of 5 so far.
There's not a 4.5.
Okay, well, I'll go 4 out of 5 just to give them some margin for error, because there's bound to be a misstep or something slow. An episode that doesn't really, but I don't know. I didn't even look at the runtime on this episode because the first one was 38, the second one was 32 minutes, and Trey and I watched it. It dropped last night, at 2 a.m, I think, because I looked this morning when I got it. Of course, the first person to review it was EVS, so I'm like, God damn it! And I was like, I didn't know it came out overnight. I was up. I would have watched it, but no. So we watched it first thing this morning, and yeah, I was just. He was glued to it, which I was like,
okay, so here's the next question.
Yes.
Are you super excited and enjoying it because it's finally something that's relatively good compared to what you have? Or is it like actual good? You know how you're like, you were anticipating something so long that you're just finally like,
yeah. No, because I was cautiously optimistic about this.
As always.
I have to be. Because
is it more in line? Would you say it's more in line with what you've been wanting from Disney Star Wars versus this is better than what we've got, or
this is what I wanted from the time that they said, they're making
not like this is good because it's a very low bar to get
it's
across.
Not a stopgap or it's not a low bar. This is a quality product. I do, and that's what makes me so mad about the entire situation. Is it's like, if you had this in your back pocket the entire time, why did we get the Force Awakens? Why did we get Solo?
Because reasons.
Yeah. Why did we get The Last Jedi? Why did you allow Lucasfilm employees to attack the fans for years and years and years? And then you're like, oh, we're launching a streaming service. Let's placate these dummies before we lay a turd with Episode 9. And here's The Mandalorian, what you all wanted. Basically, we took the Mangold movie and turned it into a show. And I have no, like I said, if this is what they were capable of the entire time, Kathleen Kennedy should have been fired a long time ago. Shit. It's ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous to think that you could put out this good of a product and kind of take people that we were just constantly bitching about how bad Star Wars was because we love Star Wars. We want good Star Wars, and we want filet mignon, and you're giving a shit when you've had filet mignon the entire time. I mean, it's like, I don't, as a fan, like I said, I'm happy I'm getting this now. And God, knowing that Deborah Chow was the showrunner for the Obi-Wan series and Ewan McGregor's coming back as Obi-Wan, even knowing what I know about Ewan McGregor outside of the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi and how he's kind of a little meh, little bit
that's generous,
a little bit to the I mean, the guy's he's kind of greasy. His personal life's kind of
still generous.
I'm being very nice. Because
Ray's Double Dong says, ETEP, do you think the New Republic will show up in the series? Would you like to see them?
The New Republic in this show? God, I hope not. I really hope they end it before then, because they were talking about that was a line in this episode was, well, you can report it to the New Republic, but we'll see how far that goes or some shit like that. And I was just like, go ahead and report it to those dummies. They don't know anything anyway.
Here's my answer to that.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
You know what would be really cool is if they just took this, they fired Kathleen Kennedy and decanonized the sequel trilogy, and we're like, this is the timeline moving forward. I would fucking probably, I don't know. Well, I would be very, very, very happy.
Yeah, that's like saying we'd all like to be rich and a lot thinner too.
Yeah, but no, man.
Well, not all of us.
This could be the Obi-Wan series. I'm excited for it, man. I am. This one, like I said, I just knowing where it leads, I don't want to see this bridge too far into the First Order and the New Republic. I prefer they focus on like the Outer Rim territories. You know, if they did, if you got Feige and Filoni in charge of Lucasfilm, I would like to see.
It sounds like a pasta dish.
It does.
Try Filoni and
know if I'm
Feige this
getting
week at the
hungry,
Mario's
Did I say
Italian
Feige?
Restaurant.
I meant Favreau. We got Filoni, Feige, Favreau. There's too many Fs.
They sound like pasta.
But no,
No,
I meant
it's on
Favreau.
Sicily Avenue.
If you take Favreau and Filoni and they were running Lucasfilm, and hell, I mean, I think even Kevin Feige, if he was over there, would probably do right by Star Wars. And that's another thing.
Did you just hit your head?
What did he do with Marvel? What did he do over in the MCU? The man created something that's never been fucking done before. I will give credit where credit is due. I don't agree with Kevin Feige's politics. I don't agree with, as far as like his movie goes, I don't agree with his love for Brie Larson, but that's the only trepidation I have about him coming to Star Wars is he's going to bring that fucking charisma void bitch with him. And that's what scares me about it. And I could just see them putting her as, what is that? Was that Revan? Darth Revan? Megan Brie Larson or some shit like that. But
Gay.
But no, if they keep this show going on this trajectory and they keep this up and they bridge this into the Obi-Wan show and the Cassian Andor show.
You mean Juan Solo?
And careful, you're gonna have another.
I'm gonna watch it. I'll watch it. Absolutely.
Okay.
It's Star Wars. I'm gonna watch it and check it out and see how it is, you know.
As long as it doesn't take away from your Cats review.
Or Batwoman. We can't live without those.
Yeah. If I had a gun right now or a letter opener, it'd be my mouth. But no, really, it's no, Mandalorian is good, man. It is a very good show. Yeah, I've got I didn't get to catch up on Prodigal Son. I will be all caught up on that by next, well, we're not doing a show next week, are we? Next Friday.
No, next week we're taking the week off for the holidays. Well, actually, we'll do this show on Friday.
I timed my movie so well. You have no idea.
We'll still do the Friday show, but between this show and Friday, I don't have time to do anything. I don't.
Okay.
I got to take the rest of the week off. So,
all right.
Wait, I'm so confused. So, are we streaming next Friday?
Yes.
We're streaming Monday. We're streaming Monday on our channel.
Because I'm confused.
Why? We'll talk off here. Oh,
yeah.
No. Well, here's the thing. My brother-in-law and sister go home that day, so I'll be able to do the stream that night.
Okay.
It's just between now and then, I've got Thanksgiving and all these other things. I can't do any other shows, but I can do a show next Friday. But if you guys can't make it, I can always.
I will be
talk
here.
About that.
I'm available. I'm not going anywhere.
Because I'm seeing Knives Out on Thursday, and then he told me we didn't have to review it until Monday, so I thought I was getting off the hook.
Ew, no,
because I didn't think we were doing this Friday.
No,
yeah,
because you're doing both shows. Yeah, you're doing my show and his, so you have to review it twice.
Yep.
Can you just copy and paste? And paste.
No copy and paste.
If I got to review,
I need your pretty face.
Joker.
We need your pretty face on 2 live streams. Yeah.
If I gotta review Cats even once, you can review Knives Out twice. Because you didn't have to sit through The Last Jedi either.
I just told you 2 bad movies that I sat through.
But at least one of them
Playing with Fire.
Fun. Yeah, Playing with Fire sounded like it was horrible.
At least one of them what?
Sounded like it was kind of fun with a bunch of violence and shit though. The 21 Bridges.
No, I'm not sure where you heard it was kind of fun.
Like you couldn't even like find any enjoyment in gratuitous violence.
No.
Not really, no. Because the problem is okay.
Any good parts in it, they immediately ruined.
If that was,
maybe you need to go back and listen.
If it was supposed to be an action movie, there wasn't enough of that. If it was supposed to be a plot like a detective story, there wasn't enough of that. And if it was supposed to be about the performance, there wasn't enough of that either. There wasn't enough of anything. It was like trying.
Hell, what were they trying to do?
It was like trying to make stew, but you only have like potatoes
and water.
And water. Yeah,
you make vodka then. I'm Russian. Let's make vodka.
It's not stew unless you have all of the ingredients, and it's light on content.
Yeah,
right? It was only the only thing I can say about it is at least it was less than 2 hours, but it could have wrapped
But
up in about
I was
90
doing
minutes.
this.
I was
like,
too.
okay,
I was.
I'm ready to go.
I was reading your text from earlier. I'm like,
That's like when I was messaging you guys when I was at Charlie's Angels. I was like 33 minutes into the movie. I'm like, I just want to fucking
I don't
leave.
usually have my phone on during
I don't
a
either.
movie, but that one there, I was so checked
That was the
out.
last two for me too.
Like I said, man, I'm sitting
sucks.
in a theater with what 4 other people watching Charlie's Angels.
If
on
it
a
makes you
Saturday
feel any
night.
better, early reviews of Knives Out are looking pretty good. So
I know. I really don't think it's going to be that bad. And I meant to tell you earlier.
And
too,
you're not as butthurt by Star Wars as we are. So
Yeah.
that's why you're really the right person for the job.
I know.
I'm looking forward to your review on that.
I couldn't be unbiased with that movie.
I can't sit through anything that he directed.
So they
Johnson.
released the early screening today.
Okay.
At some point, and 3 of the theaters around me are apparently sold out. I don't know if their actual tickets sold out. I don't know how many there, but for 3 theaters tonight was sold out.
Sold out
for an early. But again, okay, so that was in the new releases this week were Knives Out, Frozen 2, 21 Bridges, and A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. There's not a whole lot going against it.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people in a similar position as you. You don't have anything else better to do that day, so may as well get the movie out of the way.
Oh, I'm getting paid to go see this, so.
Yep.
The shills are giving it a 96 on Rotten Tomatoes with 135 reviews.
If they just see the name Ryan Johnson, they have to defend him. It's like him and Brie Larson have instant protection from anything. Also, speaking of Brie Larson, MJ, you see that trailer for
I told Pete about
movie
that.
with there's a movie coming out with her and Michael B. Jordan in it.
Michael B. Jordan and Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx and Michael B. Jordan. And it looks like a remake of Killing Time.
It is.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Like I wanted to.
She has a kid. No, I didn't say that right. It's the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Time to Kill.
Time to Kill. Yeah, I just got the words backwards. I had movie title.
Him and who is Matthew McConaughey?
It looks like they're trying to do that again, but this time it's Michael B. Jordan and Samuel L. Jackson and Brie Larson.
Is Samuel Jackson? Is she like blowing him? I mean, is she like his little puppy dog? He just like takes
Samuel
her everywhere.
Jackson is in this one. I meant to say.
He's not in this. Jamie.
Yeah, no, it's Michael B. Jordan, Jamie Foxx, and Brie Larson.
Okay, because I was like, God damn, man, Samuel Jackson and her in another movie together. That motherfucker.
Words are hard.
He was in. I almost said Knives Out. He was in.
We're all fucked up right now.
He was in fucking Unicorn Store with her. But that's why Samuel Jackson is the highest paid actor of all time, because that man is smart. He never turns down a goddamn role, and he always makes money. I mean, that's the thing with Samuel. He's 70 years old. Or 71.
That's because he doesn't take any part that's less than $1 million, and wherever he's at, he has to be like within walking distance of a golf course or some bullshit like that. So,
and he got his own lightsaber color. Ain't nobody had no purple lightsabers.
Yeah.
He's the one that has the purple one.
Mace, motherfucker, the last motherfucker.
Yeah. You didn't tell me that.
He's the only Jedi that has a purple lightsaber. Like it could almost be Sith. Yeah.
Because my little avatar girl had a purple lightsaber, but I was in my leggings with my purple lightsaber. I was like, I don't think this is right, but I want a purple lightsaber.
Brie Larson got to hold Samuel Jackson's lightsaber.
I don't want his. I want my own.
That came out wrong. That came out. That came out wrong. No, really.
That's what she said.
Well, in that case, that would mean it went in wrong.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Your sins are repented, my child. Come to confessional.
Adam's just clicking buttons at this point. Shut us up.
No. If I wanted to shut you up, I'd do.
That was like me chasing the dog today when she ran away. Oh God. I'm gonna get back to the pound. No, what the hell were we talking about?
Anyways, yeah, Knives Out. I'm really not worried. I don't think it's gonna be that bad of a movie.
No, you're gonna review it like somebody that likes movies rather than.
Yeah.
I'm unfortunately. I wish I was mature enough to sit through that, but I can't stand Ryan Johnson. He's a smug bastard. I hate what he did to Star Wars. I hate that he has such an attitude about it, and I can't. This is one of those few cases where I can't separate the person from the body of work.
No.
I wish I could, but I can't.
I will tell you, the way you feel about Ryan Johnson is how I feel about Brie Larson, and I will not fucking pay any money to see her ever again.
You're not going to go see Captain Marvel too?
Not even on the pass, huh? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Nope.
See it. It's
Not doing
you know what?
Nope.
That's fair. There's just certain people you can't stand.
To be fair.
Can we get that sound clip? We need to get that.
I'm gonna try to get that one.
Who the hell?
I think we need to. There's a couple of them out there that I might fuse together and see if I can't get. Problem is I have to have like 3 megabytes or less. So,
I was watching another reviewer the other day, and they kept saying that, and I just
you can't unhear it. That's why I was like, I'm sorry.
You know what? After watching that show, I marathoned the shit out of that show and watched all 7 seasons. And I swear to God, I was talking Canadian for like the next 2 or 3.
You know what's really funny?
I did that after watching Trailer
I'm like,
Park
yep,
Boys.
better get after it then there, bud. Yep, bud. Or yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
So Dylan Playfair.
Yeah.
Big City Slams.
Big City Slams.
Dylan Playfair plays Riley, the hockey player. He plays Gil in The Descendants, which is the Disney Channel little movie. Isn't that hilarious?
Is that coming out, or is that that's a Disney Channel exclusive?
It's they have.
I can't
3.
picture him doing anything Disney. Yeah,
he plays
that part. Yeah.
He plays Gil, which is Gaston's son.
That's like putting Russell Brand in it.
Is it Gaston?
Movie.
No.
Dude, some of my favorite parts.
Yeah, it's Gaston.
Were him, Riley and Jonesy and Shorzy, the back and forth between those guys.
That's what I'm saying. So you
my
watch
sides
that,
were
and
hurting.
then
I was laughing so
you
hard.
watch that, and then you go watch The Descendants, and he's a singing, like teeny bopper, dancing around on the Disney Channel. I'm like, I can't flip flop this. You can't
Fuck you, Riley. Give your
Yeah.
balls a tug, buddy.
Yeah.
Every fucking time that get me. Oh my God.
We had a
Tell your mother it's amateur hour over there.
I haven't, like I said, I haven't seen enough of that show yet.
You can't.
We know.
You just can't. I just want to get seasons 1 through 6 on DVD.
I love that show.
What is this COPPA thing that everybody's freaking? It's like say it's going to destroy YouTube.
No, what isn't going to destroy YouTube? We're going to milk it as long as we can, and then we'll move over to whatever the other cool kids are fucking doing next. So we're not going nowhere.
No.
If we have to change services, we'll be sure.
That was the other cool thing.
Everybody know
about 21 Bridges. I got to see the Bad Boys trailer finally.
You know what? I think we probably should have done that one. We should. You know what? We can do it. We can do it. No, let's do it.
Now I have that song stuck in my head.
We're gonna do one more trailer reaction.
The Bad Boy.
All right, so let me make sure I pull up the right one. Bad Boys for Life.
Yeah. Did you watch that Bombshell trailer that I sent you? The right one.
Yes.
It was a lot better.
Yeah, that one. It still had a nugget of that song in there, but not quite as prominent or distracting as it was. In that one.
They had my theme song.
I'm like, whatever this is, it's really distracting the hell out of me.
It's in the trailer we're about to watch.
No, we were just talking
in the Bombshell trailer.
The trailer for a movie called Bombshell.
Oh, that's the Fox News one.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yep. I hate it when they have a commercial for the trailer that you're about to watch before the trailer. It's the stupidest freaking thing in the world. Like, come on, you know?
Big shout out to YouTube Premium. I can't live without that shit now.
All right.
You lost your damn mind. Even the Batmobile don't hold the road like this bitch. Tight pants and fast cars don't make you Batman, Mike.
Will Smith looks a lot better than.
I know Martin Lawrence's chubby little face.
Martin Lawrence.
His face is about as chubby as mine, man.
I'm sorry. I'm so
Well, you got
excited.
more time behind us
Yeah.
than in front. Man, please. I'm gonna be running down criminals till I'm 100.
It's good to see Will Smith doing fun movies again, though.
Yep.
I just like Will.
This looks fun.
What happened
Yeah.
to Bad Boys for Life? It's time we be good men.
And it's almost like these one-liner movies
Fuck wants to sing that song.
became so much of a pun that they went away, and now it's like I want them to come back.
Cap, Ammo is a high school musical boy band with guns.
You look great, Grandpa.
So you're that guy,
There's always one.
right up till there's not.
That's what I like. Teamwork.
I'm the definition of half man, half drugs. Master drugs, bad boy.
This movie makes me want to go watch Hot Fuzz again, though.
Marcus, somebody's trying to kill me.
Who wants to kill you?
I don't trust a person that don't want to kill him. Hell, put my name up there. Thanks a lot. We got it, Marcus. We appreciate it.
I'm so excited. I am like,
But family is the only thing that matters. So I'm not letting you go on.
There's
the
that Michael
suicide
Bay
mission
shot.
alone.
Yeah.
And that circle shit.
One last time. One last time.
Y'all got drama. The saga continue.
I still listen to that song daily.
Oh shit! Get in! There's a pitfall. Let's go! Come on, let's go!
Damn, he had to be a side bitch to Will Smith.
Come on, fat boy. Come on.
Where the hell are you getting all these helicopters? Mike! Oh,
Come on.
This is my wife's car.
Come on.
Come to the front door. She knows. She always knows.
That looks fun. It does.
I cannot wait. That's
Yeah,
close to my
I
birthday.
enjoyed that trailer. I'm sorry I forgot about it. I just wanted to put the two up that I thought we could get like the most reactions on because I'm like,
Yeah.
oh,
No,
wow.
I cannot wait for that Will Smith and Martin Lawrence.
And
That
I know,
looks
I know,
good.
I know Pete's dying for that that new Kristen Stewart movie too, especially after just coming off the tail of Charlie's Angels. He's just anxious for that next Kristen. Here
Yeah,
he goes.
he said.
And that's the last we ever saw of Pete.
Now you're trying to put cats on me too.
No,
Don't you put that
no,
evil on me.
no,
Don't you put that
no.
evil on me, Adam. Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Don't you curse me like that.
I'm a twisted soul. I am.
That's all right. Takes
I-
two.
I-
takes
Karma.
one to know
I love
one.
to watch you suffer.
Usually I have to pay for that, but hey, what the hell if I can get it for free
If you're
here?
into masochism, yeah.
I am.
That's his karma.
That's another topic.
Talking-
That's another topic for another show.
We are not taking over Adam's stream with that. I'm sorry.
No, we'll save that. We'll save that for Anchor. The Anchor will
So we won't be doing any shows this week other than the Friday show. And then also let me go ahead and plug one more time our watch party, even though it's a little ways off. I like to give everybody ample advertising. Yes, and make sure everybody's ready for our watch party. The next watch party is going to be the Star Wars Holiday Special. Why am I going there? God, I'm tired. Oh.
Talking to the mic, Meech. Talking to the mic, Meech. I'm Cleveland Brown. I'm a cat and I sound like Cleveland. I don't even know what's
The
going on.
Star Wars Holiday Special. All right. Can you guys see this? Yes, you can. All right. I just had to double check and make sure. Star Wars Holiday Special live Saturday, December 7th, 8:30 p.m. on this channel. Doesn't cost you anything to watch it. Just be there. We'll tell you everything that you need to know. If you can't make it, if you live in another part of the world, if you're upside down and live on the bottom of the world in Australia or whatever, I will be streaming this movie 24 hours on my Facebook group. So make sure you join the Facebook group if you haven't done so already. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to RaidersOfLostFlix.com. As I said, we won't be doing any shows until Friday. So we'll be off the rest of this week because we need to be. We need to be with... we're doing different things. So some of us are doing nothing. Some of us just need some time off, man. Because
Some of us are working.
Yeah, some of us
That
are
is work
working.
you
Some of us
speak
are
of.
just tired, man. Wow.
That also.
Well, we love what we do, but sometimes it comes at a cost. So, but just remember, we do it for you guys because we love you.
Okay.
So
You don't need the pop filter, Meech.
So, anybody got any questions? I think this is probably a good place to hang it up. Nobody? Nothing?
Nobody? Bueller?
Anyways, Glad that you could hang out with us. This is the Groovinator signing out. You guys have yourselves a groovy day, and peace.
Well, bye.